force. Are you kidding me?
Yo, what's up? It's Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building. Wait, Young.
Ah.
Before anything, check out what shit I'm wearing.
You got the lady killer in the house, the crypto weight championship you representing today, huh?
Yeah, bro.
Hey,
Shout
and
out to Dennis. Shout out to
fittingly,
Lady
I know
Killer.
he's a big fan and he does the rock bottom as well. I have the rocks gear on.
Oh, wow.
You
What's
see the
up,
Brahma Bull,
all
yes?
of us rapping wrestlers, huh, bro?
Absolutely, always. No, we're
No,
big
but
wrestling fans.
Yeah. No, it's cool that, I love the design of the shirt.
Right.
But, I'm a bit feisty to walk around with the big lady killer, emblazoned, at my chest. Imagine walking out in public and probably yep, I'm a lady killer. I don't have the confidence for that yet.
Right.
I'm not
Well,
Dennis,
maybe if you wear the shirt long enough and you get some tips from the lady killer himself, maybe can. Huh? Does he do lady killing? Oh, that sounds so wrong. Does he do lady killing tips at Kickout?
Yes, he does. That one is if you stay behind a bit, he will give you additional advice.
No, that one is called promo class.
Value
promo
add,
class.
bro. Value add.
Oh, value add. No, that's promo class because
promo class,
he, that's his gimmick. Anyway, talking about Kick Out, of course, this episode of Kick to the Gut is brought to you by Kick Out, the hottest new fitness workout designed for pro wrestling fans like you, like me, like you listening in right now. Okay, you want to kickstart your fitness journey once again after the whole CB thing. You're like, oh man, I don't want to be sitting on my ass all day, right? So, Grapple Max, they have something really cool. It's called Kick Out. And of course, Grapple Max is Singapore's largest pro wrestling gym. The class itself is 1 hour, 100% no contact. So it's absolutely safe and 100% fun. You've done the class before, Foreign.
Yes, bro. And they are really particular about having no contact. It's like just you and your body and the ropes, bro.
Oh, yeah. And it's sort of like a HIIT style workout, right? Where you really get the intensity going. Yes. And you do different things in the ring. So if you've never been in the ring before, this is going to be quite the experience. The first time you got into the ring, Foreign, how did it feel?
Oh, it's great. It's not fun taking bumps, but you don't have to take bumps in this class. So that's one great thing. But a lot of interactions with different parts of the rings, like going up the ropes, going out around the corner, running into the corner of the ropes. It's a very fun, thrilling experience. If you see those wrestlers, they whip the wrestler into the corner. You're like, wow, like interesting, Like, it is. It's a very exhilarating experience to whip yourself into the ropes.
So try it out for yourself. Kick Out. Now, check this out. We have a promo code for you. On checkout, you get 20% off a single session. We want you to try it, all right? We're going to knock 20% off that single session. Usual price is $35, so you do the math. Promo code is KTTG100. KTTG100 to commemorate the fact that our 100th episode is coming up soon. What is the website? Well, you can go to grapplemax.punchpass.com. I'll say it again, grapplemax.punchpass.com to sign up for your very first session of Kick Out. This is applicable for first-time Grapple Max customers only.
Yes, KTTG 100. We are on the road to 100 episodes, and this is episode 94. Bro, time flies, man.
Oh my God, we only have 6 more episodes before we hit the big 100?
And you know what? We are about a month away from our 2-year anniversary. Kick to the Gut.
Oh yeah, we got so many things to celebrate.
Bro.
And as if, watching wrestling and celebrating the things happening in wrestling wasn't enough, then we got our own shit as well.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. We have so many our own multiple projects, and you are kind of the gamer now, CB Chef and CB Gamer.
CB Chef and CB Gamer. Right? That's right, huh? Follow me on Twitch, by the way. And
of course.
My company won't come down on me for using Twitch, unlike certain companies out there, which we will get into right now. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Did you see the link I made there?
Very great segue, bro. The first thing of all, you don't have to use your own fake name. Mr. Young really is your name. Even though a lot of people thinking really, your name is Young.
No, my company does not own my name. Unlike the WWE. Okay, so this is the story, right? When did it come out? It was last week.
Last week.
I can't remember what day exactly.
One of the wrestling Twitter journalists broke the news. I follow this guy. His name is Sean Ross Sepp. He owns Fightful.com. So Fightful.com does writes about MMA and pro wrestling. And fair enough. They're considered a dirt sheet lah. But this guy had an exclusive a lead where he managed to get a hold of this like memo that was sent out to all WWE parties, the wrestlers.
Basically,
the staff,
somebody in the company went and leaked this bloody memo out. And the
he
memo
probably said, "This is bullshit."
Yeah.
So this is bullshit. I got to send it out to the media.
Yeah,
Fuck
take a
it up.
screenshot and send it out, right? So one of those quote-unquote disgruntled employees who weren't getting pushed. The rumor was that it was Lana. And then Lana came out and, addressed it, said it wasn't her. But okay, the memo essentially... Was that?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Shaggy,
bro.
I know. The memo essentially said that superstars weren't allowed to get on like Twitch, on Cameo using their names, using their quote-unquote WWE names, because WWE owns the trademark to their names and they didn't want the superstars to be making side hustle money off of the WWE's intellectual property, quote unquote, right? So at first, it sounded like basically they were telling everybody, you cannot be on Twitch, you cannot be on Cameo if it's not a WWE official one.
But here's the thing. As much as it sounds really exploitative, and they came out with I think someone else like asked them like for an official statement, and they did come out and say that we have the right to exploit the characters that is under our intellectual property. I kind of somewhat agree to a certain extent, but my problem is if they were to control they're using their actual names and saying that even using your actual names, they have to they won't allow it as well. So that's when I think there was a lot of issue. Like, do you control the name? So someone needed to clarify that at first.
Well, Mike Rome on his on his Twitch stream actually clarified that and said no, they just can't use their on-air name. So for example, Big E cannot do a Big E Twitch stream. He has to be whatever his real name is,
You can do a cameo as Big E.
Now, if you don't know what Cameo is, it's this service where you engage celebrities to give you like a shout out to record a video for you. So they would be like, hey, yo, what's up? This is Big E from the WWE. I want to wish Josh a happy birthday or some shit like that, These paid videos, right?
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of the wrestlers have used it to their advantage. I was just watching Good Might Work. His intros now are filled with like all these wrestlers giving him a shout out. And I kind of asked him like, hey, like, do you know these guys? And they were like, not all of them I've met in person, but I reached out to them through Cameo. And that's what they got. They gave the shout outs to themselves.
So,
but here's the thing where I'm confused. Because they introduce themselves as their wrestling personas. Hey, this is Big E. Hey, this is Kevin Nash.
That's the problem.
So how is this going to work out?
Exactly. Yeah. So next time, they're going to have to... So, okay, Mike Rome clarified that if they wanted to do these side hustle things, they would have to use basically what's not copyrighted by the WWE. So if I don't know, okay, let's say Paige, right? Paige is not her real name. What's her real name? Saraya?
Saraya Jade Belvis.
So I guess she would have to say, hey, yo, what's up with Saraya Jade? She can't say Paige, I guess.
That is why, if you realize, a lot of wrestlers, they have their actual names as part of their social media handles as well. So, to get people familiar with their real names. One interesting thing I realized recently? I saw a Chris Van Vliet interview that he did recently with Billie Kay from the Iconics, right? But the entire, like the title...
she used her real name.
On the YouTube, it's a real name. So, interview with Jessie McKay. But like the Billie Kay is only mentioned in like the description, very, very small.
Yeah, it's to protect their own backsides lah.
Yeah, but if you think about it, what about guys who uses their real name as their wrestling character names?
Then grey area already lor.
You see, like John Cena, is his real name. Randy Orton is his real name.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
for those guys, that they are never ever going to do a side hustle because they are company loyal. They won't bother with stuff like that. I'm thinking the guys who are getting into trouble are those who, not quote unquote getting into trouble, are those that really are not that high up in the pecking order and they have to do these side hustles. Randy Orton doesn't need to do no fucking Cameo or Twitch. No, AJ Styles does Twitch because he enjoys gaming. That's about it.
Yeah, and he does it with his son. So it's kind of like, he's not using it to earn extra income.
Yeah. I mean, he probably does get some extra income, but he's just going to change it to Alan Jones maybe? Which is kind of weird.
It's very lucky. It's very lucky, the timing of it all. Imagine this happened at the start of Xavier Woods starting his YouTube channel.
Oh, then
you know what I mean?
He would be screwed.
Yeah, but luckily for him, his YouTube channel blew up so big that WWE bought over the YouTube channel.
Correct.
So now it's under their property.
Exactly.
But
so
good for them. Yeah.
See, like I look at this and I understand from every single side, like why people would complain about it. I understand from the WWE side as well, because, in a way, I'm kind of in that same situation as well. But here's the problem. I'm a full-time DJ at a radio station, right?
Yeah.
I have a full-time contract. The wrestlers do not have a full-time contract. We always forget that they are considered what? Independent contractors. Exactly. So it's like they're part-timers. So how can you say they can't go out and do that? Of course you cannot. That's not right. If you don't give them a full-time contract and you give them that stability and security, then you should allow them to go and do side hustles. That's the whole point of a part-time contract, right?
I think it goes all the way back to this point of contention about, being independent contractors, right? Because you're independent contractor, technically you should be the one setting your terms.
Correct.
Or like you should be the one being able to negotiate your terms. So for example, right, if they are independent contractor and then they negotiate in their terms like, hey, I want to be able to pursue this, put in my contract. And then they negotiate and then they come to an agreement. I think that's fair. That's fine.
Yes.
But the problem with WWE is they own so much of their IP, of the wrestlers' IP. They tell them where to go. It goes back to that John Oliver episode, right?
Yeah.
You call themselves independent contractors, but you tell them where to go, where to show up. You own their entire lives. And this is also another example of like there's this hypocrisy lah.
Yeah.
So why not just go and call them out and say, sign them to full-time contracts, give them the benefits of full-timers, give them, pensions,
correct,
all that benefits that come with that. So, don't call them independent contractors. You know what I liken this to? Because I've personally experienced an independent contract before.
Okay.
As a financial advisor.
Oh, okay.
Working in insurance, right?
Right.
Yeah, because in insurance, when you join, right, they always say, you are your own boss. You set up your own business.
Yeah.
The only contract that you have is just to sign to get the financial license to advise people. But you are you can do whatever you want with that contract and you can market yourself whatever you want. That is, I would say, like, okay, it is an independent contract, but it really respects the independent contract as a whole, and like by the definition of it. Because once I get the contract, I don't have to turn up in the office. I can do whatever hell I want as long as I make, the minimum payment, that kind of thing, right? There's no one trying to control. The only thing that's trying to control me is like, IFA, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, if I do some weird ass shit, So that's fair, So there's somebody governing, the wrestlers. That's, in terms of not breaking the rules, that's fair. But like, they are controlling almost every aspect of their lives,
Exactly. Well, but then you have to look at it on the other side as well. For the WWE, it's like without this vehicle, you wouldn't be anybody, But
yeah, that's true.
Of course, with AEW now and other places coming up, and they can do their own content as well. If their content is good, who knows? They might make a name for themselves. But now they can't because quote unquote WWE won't allow them. That's the whole argument.
Here's the thing that is tough, because as much as WWE wants to create stars, legitimate stars can't be so-called
manufactured.
It cannot be manufactured. They need to give them the rocket ship, give them the push. But whatever comes, it has to be validated from the wrestler and also outside forces. Like a lot of people don't know Batista until he became Guardians of the Galaxy's Drax.
Right.
So then he becomes like a legit star, not like just a WWE made star. There's always that levels to it.
See, I feel like there are a lot of parallels with the entertainment industry, not just in the US, but even here in Singapore, and, having been through a little bit of it, right? Just a small portion of it. I've seen a lot of this bullshit go down as well, where, companies are like, no, we own you. Without our platform, you wouldn't be anybody. But then again, you've also seen them try to push certain people into those platforms. But those people are just either not suited for that platform, or they're just not very good, or people don't gravitate towards them. So now by saying all of you cannot do it, you are removing the ability for them to basically, like what Zack Ryder did, make a name for themselves while in the company.
Yeah.
Because when Zack Ryder did what he did, I don't think it was with WWE's blessing, right? Only after it became a huge hit, then they were like, okay, let's go down this path. So now you are...
Doesn't it...
Well, I mean, like
Does
I
it
said,
remind you of your parents? Like, like
yeah.
isn't that like such a parent kind of mentality?
Okay,
like, no, I don't agree. I don't give you my blessing. Oh, you famous now. You got a lot of money. Okay. I support you.
Well, I mean, it's not just a parent thing. I'm sure there are very supportive parents out there as well, and not supportive parents.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is that, you know, this is something that we've seen in the entertainment industry in all facets, in all countries, everywhere. And, you know, I've seen this so many times. How
do you think it should be resolved?
I don't think that there is a black and white answer. It always boils down to, and a lot of times I tell people as well, just do whatever you want to do within the rule set. So, okay, I can't use my name. I can't say I'm Ricochet if I do a cameo or a Twitch stream, right? Then call yourself your real name lah. And if that channel becomes big, then you can go to the WWE and say, oh, look, I'm getting like, you know, lots of followers here. I'm getting a lot of attention. Push me, please. You know, and the WWE, they will notice these things. They will see it and go, oh, okay. Oh, you're doing well. Oh, you're on the TV show that's a hit TV show. Okay, you know?
I was reading back recently about Batista's issues with WWE and why he quit in 2010, right? A lot of it came down to him getting offered movie roles outside of the WWE studios.
Yes.
And he told the Vince McMahon, he said like, hey, I want to take up this role, you know, it will help benefit the company, blah blah. And then he said, no, we don't want you to do outside roles. We only want you to do like movie roles that we can control, maybe under the WWE studios.
Which are all shit.
Mostly all shit lah, basically. All the Triple H movies lah.
Yeah. So,
you know,
Batista was probably like, yeah, exactly. I'm going to go out and do my own thing and get Guardians of the Galaxy. And then once you're famous, WWE will openly welcome you back. Of course.
And here's another part of the hypocrisy, right? When he came back in 2014, right, he actually wanted to promote Guardians in the WWE umbrella, under the WWE umbrella. But you realize that never happened, right? He only had that short run, maybe after Payback, and then he left. And in that whole period, he was already filming. He already had filmed Guardians. They were about to do post-production. Yep. He could have like, you know, tie it in and did some promo work. But WWE didn't want, because according to their eyes, this one, we don't know whether this one will do well or not, how this one will reflect our company, blah, blah, blah. Can you imagine how stupid they seem right now? Knowing that Guardians blew up. But you remember that period, right? No one knew what was Guardians of the Galaxy even. It was such an obscure comic, right?
Was it the Blue T-Star
I don't know,
era?
man. Yes, it was Blue T-Star. It was Evolution Reform facing the Shield during that period.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking, bro, like, would someone like Stone Cold have, like, you know, just played along with the rules and that kind of stuff? Like, they're not helping these characters grow.
Yeah.
You know?
See,
that's why it's tough.
This has always been the big issue with giant corporations. They want to control everything so that when someone blows up and becomes big, they can still take a bit of the money. The main worry, I feel like, is that if somebody gets super huge without the WWE's sort of guidance, that control, right? Then they would realize that, oh, actually, you know, I don't really need the WWE as a vehicle. I can go to AEW and do the exact same thing.
That's why you got people like, you know, Brock Lesnar, people who are on these fat, big contracts because they know their value.
Correct. Hey,
you need me more than I need you.
Yes. But you see, someone like, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, they have already made it. So they're already big names. So they can come in and demand whatever the fuck they want. Right? But your undercut guys who haven't made it yet, they're like, okay. I'll just get very angry about it on the inside and then leak it to journalists.
It's tough. There's always that conflict. You want to create and make a big star, but you keep holding them down. Then wouldn't this push those people away with the potential? And if they are meant to do great things, they will eventually do it with or without WWE. And I believe that, you know, Brock Lesnar is not as big as he is now because he wouldn't have been as big as he is now if he didn't quit WWE and make a name for himself in MMA.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I dare say he became even more mainstream after he joined MMA than when he was in WWE.
But then again, him going into the UFC with the WWE clout, that's what helped him push him all the way to the top. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, there's both sides to the story. If Brock Lesnar just came in to UFC with no WWE, for example, let's say, what if in an alternate universe, he never joined the WWE. He went straight from college wrestling to like
high school amateur
football.
wrestling,
Maybe he did a bit of football. Then he would just be another football guy going into MMA. I don't think he would have been quite as big. He might have won championships, but I don't think he would have been the superstar that he would become lah.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you want to be the devil's advocate for WWE, you think CM Punk would have gotten any contract
in the UFC? Exactly.
If at 37 he decided like, hey, I want to go join UFC, like, who the fuck are you?
Exactly. So yeah,
Conor McGregor would say. Yeah.
Yes, that's the perfect example right there. So we can't say that WWE doesn't build stars. They do. The problem is they want too much control. But then you can't have people just running off, doing whatever the fuck they want also. So I do see WWE's point of view, but like this is a conversation that will go on forever. And
yeah, it's like the chicken and egg conversation, I think from the beginning of time to the end of time, it will always be there. But we have to understand where WWE is coming from. Like they need to have some sort of ability. Like, but the word that they use are very annoying.
What?
The ability to exploit their characters.
Oh, yeah, exploit.
Exploit,
Okay, to be fair though, I'm sure there are people who do. There are wrestlers who do. I'm sure. I guarantee you there are. They just very quietly on the sneak, like getting money to make appearances outside without telling anybody. That kind of shit. Obviously, those are very hard to do in the digital age.
For some reason, right, when you talk about like CD characters that, CD wrestlers that take advantage of the situation, I keep thinking about Enzo for some reason. Enzo would be like the perfect kind of guy to do this kind of shit.
Exactly, I mean, you look at AEW and it's almost the opposite problem that they have. Like everyone's sort of doing their own thing to a point where, and we'll get into this, I want to get into this when we start talking about AEW and why their pay-per-view wasn't as exciting as it could have been. But I think the problem boils down to everyone has sort of their own idea to do it. So it just becomes this disparate mess of I do it what I want. I am trying to outshine everybody. So there's no ebb and flow. There's no proper pacing of their shows, I feel.
Yeah, that's true. So the main episode, the main focus on the episode today is to talk about, All Out, we have to review that and also talk about, like, all elite wrestling in general, because a lot of momentum has been shifted to WWE. They have the Thunderdome, they had back-to-back SummerSlam payback, they had Roman Reigns returning and becoming a badass heel.
We got the Mysterios, we got Retribution. So they are firing on all cylinders. And let's not forget Randy Orton.
Yeah, so it's in a way it's a very interesting time for WWE because it seems like their back has been against the wall during this period. And it just came out, knowing WWE, you can never underestimate them. When you think like, they are done, and they come with all this crazy ass shit, like, okay, I'm going to watch, see what's going to happen.
See, then I'm a bit like, I'm scratching my head now. Do you think that, remember when there was a period where Dynamite was the exciting show to watch? And we were, constantly talking about how Dynamite was so exciting. Was it because WWE was slacking off? That's why we were like, oh my God, this shit is so exciting. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it's not really, are you trying to imply that it's not really because AEW was so exciting, it was because the alternative was sucked so much, we were just craving for something different?
I'm starting to feel that way because the current AEW Dynamite all of a sudden is not as exciting to me. And I'm like, okay, what has changed? I don't think a lot of AEW has changed. They're still sort of running their show like inmates running the asylum, right? So that hasn't changed, but the only thing that has changed is WWE and their programming. So I'm like, okay, so maybe it was not that AEW was doing such creative things. Maybe it's just that, WWE sucked so much for so many months that we're like, oh my God, AEW is doing so great. You know what I mean?
But but we can't underestimate or underrate AEW's presence in all of this. Like, we know for a fact WWE would have slacked all the way if there wasn't any alternative.
Yes, that is
we
true.
have seen the decades of rot that has set in.
Yeah.
So regardless, there needs to still be there lah. Yeah.
For AEW though, I really do feel like, and this is a problem I've said from the beginning, there are certain main event stars that can bring it, and some of the newbies just cannot make it. And it's so obvious that they're writing their own storylines, and it's like fucking eye-rolling shit. And
Here's the thing about writing your own storylines, right? That I feel a lot of performers can be guilty of.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the creative control, right? What do? You want to always look good, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that your character is protected.
Yeah.
You don't want to seem like make like a fool of.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think to myself, like, then how are you gonna tell stories if everyone want to take care of themselves, also so sensitive,
Okay lah, I wouldn't say
really tell great stories,
I wouldn't say that's a huge problem for AEW. I think by and large the wrestlers are there's no Hulk Hogan politics lah. Let's just put it that way. It's just that they are just not as experienced in making entertaining moments like a Chris Jericho or like I don't know if you noticed this very interesting thing, but for the men's division in AEW, right? Every champion is former WWE. Now, Jericho, FTR, Brody Lee.
I mean, Jericho's not a champion though, but
Moxley. Sorry, Moxley. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah. FTR, yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
I mean, let's put it this way. I would trust my titles on established names first.
Yeah.
To at least set the standard.
Yeah. And then
use
build
them
other
to build
people.
up.
Yeah. So let's then go straight into the all. Oh my god, I forgot it's all in or out. All in, all out. All out. Okay.
Okay. What's like just your overall overview of All Out? Like, what was your sensing about it?
I didn't hate it. I'm not going to shit on it because it's cool. I'm just going to say that it's better than average. So I would say maybe like a 7 out of 10 if I had to give a number.
Okay.
There were exciting moments, but there were a lot of fucked up moments also.
Okay. So here's the interesting thing. You say that it's like, okay, better than average, but I'm gonna be the one shitting on it, and this is super not me.
What's going on? The one time I give them praise, well, I guess one has to play the heel, one has to play the face.
No, this is not premeditated, bro. Like literally, I think this is the most very underwhelming or very disappointing AEW pay-per-view that they have ever produced.
See, that brings me back to my previous point. Is it because Payback and SummerSlam were good?
So no, I'm looking at it at purely. No, I wasn't even comparing. I was excited to watch it. I mean, I'm an AEW fan. Some of the matches were exciting, but like to me, every single match that I had hopes for didn't deliver. So it's not that it sucked, but it was very disappointing.
Okay, well,
like, not even match quality. Just certain ways of going about it, certain booking decisions, certain pivotal moments that should be iconic became like
they weren't iconic.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Right. So let's go into the
unfortunately they weren't.
Yeah. Let's go into the pay-per-view proper, and we'll also, after talking about the match, talk about the fallout, as in what happens, in continuity. I feel like we can do that since we've also watched Dynamite as well. So the first match on the main card was Big Swole versus Britt Baker, tooth and nail match. Well, first of all, we didn't know what the hell this was supposed to be. As we found out, it was a cinematic match, I guess is what you would call it.
So they literally fought in her office, is it?
You know what?
Or did they build up a prop?
Yeah, no, I think it's probably her office. I don't know, I don't know. But
God. Okay, that's so cute. Yeah.
When they first said it, I was like, okay, this is interesting. An interesting choice to start the pay-per-view too.
That's why.
Right? I thought this was supposed to be on the undercard.
That was one of the things that scratched my head and got me annoyed. Like,
they moved
why
it up.
the hell you make this your opening match of your so-called second biggest pay-per-view of the year?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like, I'm thinking like, if I'm like a new fan, casual fan, and I'm like watching wrestling for the first time, okay, I want to see what's this all about. And then no offense to, Big Soul and, the Britt, right? But it's not a greatest representation of like alternative wrestling.
No, it's not. You're right. And it wasn't, it was hokey, I guess. This definitely should have been a toilet break match somewhere in between the card somewhere. And of course, the Big Swole won via local anesthesia into the leg, freaking, Novocaine, right? And then gassed her out with general anesthesia. What the hell?
It's stupid fun, okay? It's supposed to be a palate cleanser, but not a fucking opening match.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what you just said. Okay, palate cleanser comes where in between the meal, right? not at the start of the meal. You don't have a palate because your palate has nothing already. So if this is what you're starting with, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, very bad placement.
Yeah, it's the okay, maybe it's just this particular match, but it just started off the night on a very down note, and I was really off-putted by it. I was like, oh man, why is this match? Yeah.
I mean,
taking nothing away from Britt and Big Show, because I actually enjoyed the rivalry, the last couple of months, because Britt was out with an injury, right?
Correct.
So her ability to cut promos, her ability to make fun of Britt, and all these creative things that they had done in Dynamite led up to this moment. It felt, okay, this was like a good way to blow off the feud. I just didn't like how this was supposed to be the representation, of AEW. Yep. If you're a fan, because I'm looking at it from a fan's point of view who is like new to the wrestling product, to All Elite Wrestling. So it was just bad.
Yeah,
there's no else to say it, yeah.
It's like, okay, if you want to use an example from the Attitude Era, it's like watching a Crash Holly match right at the start of the show. No, but then again, that would have probably been exciting.
Yeah, it would be entertaining. So, and they did do a lot of matches with Crash, that started off pay-per-views.
Pay-per-view, that's true.
So maybe it's like a Terry Runnels match with freaking, like, I don't know,
China.
Like Nicole Bass.
Like those, like
some stupid shit.
Yeah. Anyway, so
hey, please, bro, tell me all the good things that you like about All Out, so that you can try to convince me, because I want to see.
Well, I agree with you 100% that this shouldn't have started the match and started the pay-per-view, and it was a crap match anyway. So I mean, I did enjoy the fact that they were trying new things and they were limited in what Britt can do, because she's still recovering, right? At certain points, they try to make it like a horror movie, with her and the plastic face mask, and she's creeping. Then after that, see, the problem also is the pacing and the vibe of this thing. So is it a horror segment, or is it a comedy segment, or is it a brawl segment? They try to jump everything into it, and it just came off like messy.
I just want to know who was the one that produced this match, because
I feel like they probably pitched the idea and they're like, okay, go with it.
Yeah, but like if it was an experienced head, like if like an Arn Anderson was like producing this match, or like Dustin Rhodes or what,
then
it would be like, you want to make it like hokey and funny, but like have some sort of great resolution. You're right. There was it was more what's that match with Randy and Bray inside that room, that horror match?
It was just a mess of things. At least they didn't try to go to the ring after that.
It was like a House of Horrors.
House of Horrors.
Slash Big Show getting shot by a tranquilizer. Do you remember that?
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. I mean, we shit on this, but WWE has come out with way worse crap, so it's not that bad, I guess. Let's move on. The Young Bucks defeated Jurassic Express. The Young Bucks are really like slowly turning heel. We can all see it. I honestly don't think they're the best actors. It is not.
I agree. Okay, here's the funny thing. I think that the best actor in the Elite, right, is the one that they just kicked out of the Elite. Hangman Page.
And we will talk about that because he had a promo, right? His promo on Dynamite, I thought was really good. He really pulled off the cowboy with deep thoughts.
It has become his persona, but it's a great,
No, it didn't seem like he was acting. That's my issue. With the Young Bucks now, it's like they are trying so hard to be heels that it's getting a bit like, what the... Like, I see what y'all are doing. Why don't you just super kick? And, okay, on Dynamite, they super kicked Alex Marvez. I guess that is to put the exclamation mark. All right, these are bad guys now. They are, they've gone to that place, right? But
even when they were faced, right, the way they cut their promos up, that... Yeah, you're right. Like, they need to go to acting school a bit.
I don't know. I for whatever reason, maybe that's why I never got into the Young Bucks, because I could never buy their
not
personas.
Believable.
No, it's not.
Okay.
They should just be who they are. Smarmy millennials who think that they're better than everybody.
Yes,
they should just do that.
They should. Yeah. They can't do intense. I don't know. Like, they can do angry. But they can. It's more of like an annoying, douchey, angry than like intense, like intensity.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. They need to be crybabies. They, for some reason, I see them as like whiny, bitchy heels.
Okay. Here's how I know that they can't last like in like a legit man kind of vibe. Can you
legit
imagine
man kind of vibe? What?
No, like,
What does that
hear
mean?
me out. Wait for it.
Okay, go.
Put them in the ring across Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle.
Wow, yeah, exactly. Yeah. They look
You
like
get what
kids.
I mean?
Yeah, I get.
They look like boys.
Yeah. Actually, you know who they remind me of? And maybe it's because of the attire as well. They remind me of the early days Hardys. When you look at them, yes, we know they can do flips and shit like that and fly, but they look like boys. Do you remember before the Hardy Boys hooked up with Michael P.S. Hayes and they were wearing like neon colors when they were jobbers?
Yeah, like tassels and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
They still wear tassels or they have the same vibe. So I can't take them seriously.
You need both of them to like grow out their beard and have chest hair or something? I don't know. What do you want?
I don't know. I really, they need to have some sort of like, I don't know, attitude defining moment.
Okay, so here's what I'm confused of. Going into this pay-per-view, right? What's the story between the Jurassic Express and Young Bucks? This match, is it, from what I'm trying to understand, it's like a number one contenders match or something?
Yes, I believe so. So they have been, Jurassic Express, they have been working their way up the ranks. Young Bucks, the whole story was like, we were supposed to be the number one seed when we started this whole company. We are the, the best tag team. Everyone keeps saying we're the best tag team, but we haven't been able to win the titles at all. So what does this say about us? So, they've been trying to, and I get it. I don't hate that storyline at all. I actually think it's pretty cool. And in their way, it's Jurassic Express. I think the Young Bucks should have won. They need to start picking up wins to establish their legitimacy as a tag team. But also because you're going towards, the plan was supposed to be FTR and Young Bucks eventually, right? So like, are they trying to draw it out a bit longer? Give Jurassic Express this rub first, get them like, the first shot with FTR, who won the title we're going to talk about later, and like, basically place them as like the like first opponents that they win over lah. Is that the plan? I guess, but here's the thing too, like I'm scratching my head now because if you watch Dynamite, and we'll talk about it later, all of a sudden the tag team division is so ridiculously crowded, and maybe that's how they want to separate themselves from the WWE, to stand out and say we truly have the best tag team division in all of pro wrestling, because
they do.
They do.
It's unquestionable that they do.
Yeah. So then, watching the match itself, though, I really believe that Luchasaurus needs a lot of seasoning, because that was my one problem with this match. It's like every move he does got 2-second lag. Like he's not crisp. Jungle Boy is more ready to hang with the Young Bucks than Jurassic Express. Like Jurassic Express will stand there and wait for 2 seconds, 3 seconds before the Young Bucks do their move to him. So it's, you know what I mean? He's not smooth.
So his timing is a bit off.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because the Young Bucks just move too damn fast. The pace of their matches are very fast, right? But like they've wrestled quite a few times already and it's the same. So I think it's a Luchasaurus thing where his timing is maybe not quite there yet. But like, how old is he? He's quite young, right?
Yeah. He should be in his late 20s and stuff like that. But he has been doing indies for a very long time. So it could be a lot of habits that he's trying to unlearn.
Maybe. Yeah. But for whatever reason it is, when I watch a Luchasaurus match, it seems clunky. And the problem is, like I'm trying to think, but then like when I watch a Kane match, when I watch an Undertaker match, I don't feel these things. But they are slow moving horses, right? And then I think it dawned on me, that's because Luchasaurus is trying to sell himself as this fucker who can do standing moonsaults and, spinning kicks and shit like that. So I think maybe that's the problem. He's this heavyweight trying to stand out by being a cruiserweight, but he's not there yet. He's not nearly fast enough to hang in there, and therefore he looks like he's off.
So you're saying he should stay in his lane and go with his strengths, is that it?
Yeah, and try not to wrestle a cruiserweight match. Like, for example, right? If Rey Mysterio versus Kane, there are a lot of moves that are not going to happen to Kane.
Yeah, and Kane is not going to try to Hurricanrana Rey Mysterio lah.
Exactly. Whereas Luchasaurus is going to try, and it's going to look like cock. So you know what I mean by that?
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. I feel like, and this could be the indie mentality right now, because everyone's saying that you got to have like dives in your arsenal, you got to have planchas in your arsenal.
Yeah.
Even as a big man, you must be able to move fast. But here's the difference between someone like Luchasaurus and Keith Lee. I feel like Keith Lee has a great sense of when to use his so-called athletic moveset. I'm personally a big fan of when, he does something where he whips his opponents into the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, he will roll. He will do like a forward roll.
Yeah.
And then he will he start running in again. He's about to build up his run.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like that because, not only is it like a very aesthetically nice, like very cool move, but I like that in between his rolls, he had to like build up steam again, then to be able to run the person over. It makes sense that he is an athletic big guy, but this big guy can't just explode, how a small guy can.
Well, you know what he's doing, right? In a theatrical sense, he is creating anticipation. He's giving the audience a moment to breathe, to appreciate what he's doing. And that's exactly my problem with the Young Bucks and the people that they wrestle with, the Lucha Bros, and obviously Luchasaurus himself as well. They just do one move after move after move after move. So after a while, it's like you don't get a chance to breathe and appreciate what you're doing. So you exactly painted the problem out and laid it out and made my point.
So this is the wisdom, I guess, of the WWE style.
Yes.
A lot of people find it's boring, one note, they can't do all the explosive moves. To a certain extent, there is some truth in it. Yes, it can get very pain by the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But when it works, there is that incredible sense of timing. And I always think about the best matches in wrestling history, right, are all about timing. Like certain things that happen just at the right time, the feel of it. That's something that helps.
I know we bring this up all the time, but Hogan versus Rock. By no means is it a good match. It's a shit match, but we loved it. The
crowd,
goosebumps, the crowd. Played. Yeah, the subtle, I look left, you look left. That shit? It's moments like that make the match. It's not the 20,000 jumps you can do.
Maybe, right, bro? You know what's lacking in all these like so-called new age wrestlers? They don't listen to the crowd enough. They don't engage or interact. Okay, obviously you can't do it in this kind of situation. But like even like their old matches and stuff, like they are trying to tell a story, yes. But can they on the fly improvise based on the crowd reaction?
Yeah.
Can they extend the beat down based on the boos?
Yeah. It's a lost art. That's why back in the day when you had Stone Cold, and if you listen to all their interviews, that's what they talk about. That's what they talk about. That's missing from the current product. It's these guys who know how to go out there and just feel the crowd, and that's why it's so hard for them now with no crowd. But AEW doesn't have that excuse because they have a crowd. A small crowd, but they still have a crowd. But see, that's why people like Chris Jericho shine, because he knows how to do that. Where maybe someone who's a little bit more veteran like Moxley can shine.
Speaking of the crowd, right?
I gave Moxley
I want to make one comment. Yeah, it's cool that you did.
Yeah, which is shocking.
I wanted to bring up a point about the crowd. The crowd is dead.
No,
is it because there's too little people?
It's too little people. It's still very sparse. You can't expect like raw. Okay,
I'm not expecting like the crowd to be like the NXT trainees who are forced to like everyone must stand up, must be clapping and all that kind of shit. Like they are fans, they can do whatever they want, right? But like I felt they were sitting on their hands for too long. Like they felt like they weren't really enjoying themselves as well. Maybe because I don't know. I heard it was quite humid in Florida.
It was uncomfortable.
I heard about it.
But to me, it's not surprising because it goes back to the very same problem from the first AEW pay-per-view. I've said this, that because there is nobody telling them you cannot do a dive, you cannot do a flip, you cannot kill yourself in this match. Like everyone's going out there and doing every damn thing. It becomes exhausting. Each match is supposed to be emotionally exhausting, right? And if you just pile on every single match, has everything, blood and guts, every single match is like that, by God, that's maybe why by the end of the night, you're like, oh, that was like too much to go through.
Yeah. I like to believe like people like Arn Anderson, Dusty Rhodes are doing their part, and telling them to slow down. Jericho also. But when you talk about how it's very tiring, you also have to keep in mind that this pay-per-view was almost 4 hours plus.
Yeah, that too.
And maybe this is the only comparison I will make. Payback was such an easy watch. Like I could watch Payback all the way through without getting bored.
Because it was short.
And every match kind of felt like it mattered.
Yeah.
But this one, I guess like some matches went longer than they needed to.
Yeah, that's true.
And this was one of the match, the Young Bucks match, I think obviously they keep giving themselves 20 minutes each time.
Yeah. See, that goes back to the very same, to the original problem I've bitched about since the beginning. They are too much of a mark for themselves. They don't have somebody like a Bruce Pritchard or somebody, whoever does WWE's show rundown. And to be fair, they can be guilty of not giving people enough time as well in the WWE, right? But there's a balance. Somebody needs to go to the Young Bucks and say, okay, cut your shit down to 10 minutes. We don't need, this is not a major storyline, don't exhaust and fatigue the crowd. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to talk about Young Bucks anymore. We've talked about them long enough. Let's get to the 21-man casino battle royale. Oh my God, talking about clusterfuck. I think this one, okay, I hate this concept. I really hate this concept of groups of people, like,
there hasn't been a great casino battle royal match. Let's just put it this way.
What makes the Royal Rumble great?
It's the anticipation.
Yes, one by one, every 2 minutes. So you can have moments where the ring is full, or you can have one-on-ones, and you can tell stories in between. That's what makes the Royal Rumble so brilliant. Like, for example, when WWE does their regular battle royales randomly, and everyone is in the ring, those are going to be a clusterfuck. There's no story being told. It's just a whole bunch of people, and only at the end, then you can tell that story.
Yeah,
right?
Like the last 5 minutes, then it's exciting, right?
To me, this 21-person casino battle royal that's the problem. There are just too many things going on.
The thing, right, that I guess the concept is trying to make, right, is they are building up to the Joker, right?
Right.
Like everyone else comes in bunches.
Yeah.
So like as exciting as one guy is in the groups, like the other four may be very boring. And then when all five come in together, it's kind of like average out. Okay, like whoever, whatever,
Yeah.
So
but you don't get the one-on-ones. You don't get those moments where, oh shit, like,
Correct. And when I say it's building up to the Joker, it really lives and dies by the success of the Joker, who he is, what he does.
Okay,
right?
Okay. I know where you're going with this, and I'll be honest. When the Joker was revealed, I was like, oh my God, it's Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal. I was actually excited. And then what happened, bro? You tell everybody what happened.
Bro. First of all, of course he's gonna do his airborne, he's gonna shooting star press, right? Like I was excited for that. But whoa, talk about Botchamania moment, man. Like it's memorable lah. I give it to him lah. Memorable lah. I won't forget his debut ever.
In all you know what this reminds me of? You know when they hyped Ultimo Dragon and then he came out that one pay-per-view and he slipped on his cape twice.
Oh yeah. Oh no, or Sin Cara. They build up Sin Cara so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we know what happens. Sin Cara, he does his entrance where he jumps from a trampoline and he does his like moonsault thing, right? No, not moonsault, forward flip. And then his very first debut, they hype you out, this mysterious guy, blah blah. He ran in, he jumped, his leg caught on the ropes, and he fell face first. It was so bad. Yeah,
Randy Orton out of nowhere with the draping DDT.
Oh my God! He basically he's dead on arrival, bro. Like I feel so bad for Matt Sydal. Like I really feel so bad.
And somehow his entrance video, right? The first thing you see on his entrance video, SSP, Shooting Star Press.
Is it?
The very first thing you see of Matt Sydal is Shooting Star Press, and he goes in and botches it.
It's his calling card, bro. It's like you had one job. This is the only thing that you needed to do and pull off well.
I feel so bad because obviously the Shooting Star Press is a very tough move to do.
Yep.
But it was really like just bad. Like, I
won't blame him. You know why? I won't blame him because if you realize, right, when he came out, there was a lot of smoke and like the ring was filled up by that point in time. And I'm pretty sure it's sweaty and wet there. He definitely slipped. It's not his fault. He never misstep or that kind of thing. Because when he was about to jump, his leg completely went up. Yeah. And I was so scared for his landing, I thought it was gonna land like on his head. So I think he landed right at the back of his neck.
Yeah, I mean,
like it was a bit scary, I guess. When I knew he was alright, I started laughing though.
Yeah, all jokes aside, obviously what these guys and gals do is very dangerous, and you don't want to laugh at anyone getting injured, but my God, you're right, man. That impact immediately went away, and whatever he did in the ring after that, you couldn't take seriously, unfortunately, because I don't know what's going to happen after this. Yeah, how do you recover from this? Because even Titus Woe slide, even though they made it a thing, right?
Yeah,
it was a meme and everything. it's not like his career all of a sudden exploded because he was, he had a funny meme. He kind of went in the background as well. So how does Matt Sydal recover from this?
10 years on the indie scene, away from the limelight. This was his chance to get back in the big time.
And he botched the SSP. I mean, okay, let's not dwell on that. Accidents happen.
The problem is right now, Dynamite happened and he was nowhere to be seen on the show. So I don't know how is he going to be recovering. I do want him to succeed though.
Yeah. Was it a one-off? Like, is he signed? I haven't seen like a Matt Sydal.
No. He's not signed yet. He's not signed
okay.
Yet.
Yeah,
There's
so it was
news
just
on that.
It's a one-off lah. And okay, something like that really just caters to the marks. I mean, the smarts, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
But let's talk about the winner of this.
Okay.
Casino Battle Royale.
Okay, before we do that, one of the quote-unquote big moments was Darby Allin, Brian Cage, and that guy, Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks,
Yeah. So Team Taz basically beat up Darby Allin, put him in a body bag with thumbtacks.
Yep.
See, this is what annoys the shit out of me. Shit like that. It's like, it's Darby Allin, so we have to shoehorn some random like thumbtack, freaking body bag nonsense in there, some dangerous spot, right? That takes away from everything.
For me, like this kind of sports will only matter if it's done in big moments. There was a build up to it, at the climax of a very hard fought match, and then this thing was like the exclamation point.
Yeah, like a grudge match.
Random.
Yeah,
this is like a random in the middle of like a full ring.
Yeah,
like there's
okay, that's my big issue. I don't know who is making these decisions for them, but they need to tell them, no, don't do this now. Do this when you have a grudge match with Ricky Starks, which I think if you watch Dynamite, you'll know that like Ricky Starks came out dressed as Darby Allin, making fun of Darby Allin. So that's where they're going. And I actually didn't mind that. I like Ricky Starks on the mic. I think he's quite a smarmy heel. Him and Darby Allin would be a good program.
Yeah, I like that he's the one that is fighting Darby and feuding with him instead of Brian Cage. It will be a much better match to watch.
Also, Brian Cage, where was he on Dynamite? He was nowhere, so I don't know what the hell. It's I don't know what their plan is with him.
Some weird booking decisions all around, I would say.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like Darby Allin, I felt has so much potential, right? Mm-hmm. And now he's kind of like there's nothing that's exciting right now about him.
He was exciting when he was in there with who?
Cody he had a great match with Cody.
Cody, Jericho, the veterans.
Jericho.
Now that he's sort of like doing his own thing with like non-veterans, he's floundering. I mean, do you see what I'm saying here? It's these veterans that have the experience to craft their own storylines that are making it work. Whereas I don't think Darby Allin has that experience. He has cool vignettes. He's doing the Tony Hawk shit, but other than that, what? And this is where
MJF is like kind of a bit of a level up over Darby Allin right now. Like, MJF can carry his own segment, his own fuse. He already proven he had a great match with Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
same level, and he can craft a great match.
Yeah,
because Darby is like I would say it's like a free spirit. It's like a Jeff Hardy kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
So he needs someone that he can riff off of, that can be the one that holds the match together, that can be the one that glues the match together.
So I don't know if Ricky Starks is going to be that guy.
I've watched Ricky Starks in NWA. He's a great hand. Like he can wrestle, right? And
you said the thing that no wrestler wants to hear. You're a great hand.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm a great hand. Okay no, but Ricky Starks also has personality, and I think his personality will bring out some sort of they will bring out something out of Darby, because there will be that conflict there. This brash, loud guy and this quiet guy. But I don't know, like can be Ricky Starks. I don't want to compare him to The Rock, but like he has that early when The Rock was in The Nation, that arrogance,
that vibe. Yeah,
he has that vibe. Yeah.
So they started this feud off wrong, though. It's like the whole Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins thing. The first thing he did was already stab him in the eye, and then you want to go back and retread it. Like how you cannot escalate this anymore. Or actually knowing them, they will escalate this, because this is AEW. So I don't know. Darby Allin's gonna fall off a Titantron onto his head or some shit like that.
Speaking of escalation, They're gonna go crazy with it. We're gonna talk about Matt Hardy and Guevara.
Hold on. We haven't got to the finish of the Battle Royale. So Lance Archer wins the Battle Royale. Yes. Jake the Snake was fumbling with the snake bag the whole that was a fuck up on its own. I don't know if you noticed, like he was trying to open it. I don't know whether he was teasing the open or he was just going to just wave around this bag.
I don't know.
He looks so like ridiculous there. Whatever, okay. Old guy screwing it up, never mind.
I give chance lah.
He's legend. Give chance, yeah. So what's that guy's name? Eddie Kingston. All of a sudden, he's like, why is he like all of a sudden upper mid card? It feels like they're pushing him. Like he's getting so much mic time.
His entry is interesting because he basically came in to like be the mediator, right, between the Lucha Bros, the Blade,
Butcher and the Blade,
the Bunny and the Blade, and
Butcher
and the Blade.
Yeah.
I like his like this manipulator, this master manipulator, you know, making people come together with his words, that kind of thing.
Correct.
But why I say his placement is so weird, he's coming in as like the mouthpiece for the tag teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time he's chasing singles goal. Like, is he gonna be MVP or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
MVP.
MVP
was doing that, right?
Yeah, I can see him filling that role, but MVP is more like a smooth businessman, whereas he is more, this Kingston guy seems more like a street hustler, like a gang leader.
That's why I like him with Lucha Bros. I mean, other than the Latin connection is one thing, but he can be a great mouthpiece for and then let the wrestlers do like all the crazy talking.
Right.
He's like more of the rough and tough.
Yeah.
You know who he would have been great with?
Who?
Santana and Ortiz.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. To be fair, Santana and Ortiz are fine in the inner circle. They need to hang around with Jericho. Jericho has all the experience. But I'm just a bit like scratching my head. Like, why is he all of a sudden this? You know, it was down to him and Lance Archer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, wow. Okay, so they are trying to say something about him. Like, we think that
he keep
world of this guy.
He kept talking about how he wasn't eliminated. You watched, right, Dynamite?
Yeah.
He's saying like, I still have a shot in this, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
He is okay. He's a veteran. I know that he's done a lot of work in the indies and all that. So maybe he has that clout, but I'm just not aware of how big his clout is.
See, that's the problem, and we've said that about AEW. They seem to only want to cater to the smarts. Like, I don't know who he is. I don't care about how many years he has on the indies. You need to explain who the hell this guy is to me. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's done.
What happened to all his vignettes, backstage promos, things to build up a wrestler? Like one day someone just turns up.
Yeah.
And then what?
So I don't know. It's not like he's had like amazing matches as well. So it's very weird.
Even Wardlow, right? A shitty vignette to promote him coming into AEW.
Some car park fight. Some fucking anyway. So Lance Archer will move on to face. Well, eventually we'll know John Moxley. I'm excited for this feud. I thought his promo on Dynamite sucked. It was terrible.
Archer's promo, or you're talking about Archer and Jake Roberts, right?
Jake was okay. Yeah. To be honest, it's not Jake's best promo. But Archer, when he started talking, I was like, what the fuck? It sounded like Ultimate Warrior yelling at me.
Maybe Archer should not talk that much. Yes. Leave it to Jake.
Yes, leave it to Jake to be creepy and like evil.
Why can't he just do like a menacing 1 or 2 lines and that's it?
Yeah. I don't know.
End the promo. Okay, when you say you're excited, I'm also excited because I've seen their work, obviously, in New Japan. They had a great match at Wrestle Kingdom, right?
Yeah. That's why I'm excited as well. But do your casuals, mainstream, know about this feud? Probably not. So they need to build on this. Yeah. They need to tell a story.
They need to really highlight Jake in this. Yeah. Like Jake's initial promos coming into AEW were amazing. Remember when he fought with Cody and all that kind of stuff. I'm missing that from Jake because I don't know. Maybe the vignettes have gotten stale or something. But that fire, the initials twinkle when I listen to Jake and all that, it kind of got lost somewhere.
Maybe he's not ripping off Jake's shirt enough. Maybe everybody dies.
Everyone dies.
Yeah.
Except for Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy will not die.
Yeah. Unkillable.
Wait. Quick question. Do you think right now that the AEW roster, right, is getting too big? There's not enough way to tell stories. Like I feel like it's like they're lumping a lot of the tag teams together. Also because maybe they just have too many people with nothing to do. That's why they just put them together. It feels very undefined. Like for example, right, I do not know who are the TNT championship contenders. Who is at the TNT championship level?
Level.
Who is at the AEW championship level? The tag team is very clear, of course. But I feel like there's so many things happening that there will be a lot of people that's gonna miss out. And I don't watch AEW Dark, right? So I don't know, like whatever happens in AEW Dark
doesn't happen.
I have no, to me doesn't happen lah.
Not canon.
But I wish they could make it canon.
I
wish they can somehow make people care about AEW Dark. So whatever happens down there, they're like, oh, you're finally here on the main show.
Well, the problem is they like cross-pollinate. So once like example, SCU, they were mainstay when AEW first started, right? And now they're showing up on Dark all the time. Like, you know, so
it wasn't.
It's like anybody and everybody can get shuffled except for your main eventers.
It has gotten a point where maybe they are long enough into this, right? That everything kind of like is like all squished together.
Melded
all the
into one.
storylines just melded.
Yeah, well, and that is the other issue that we've talked about for AEW is like everyone gets a 20-minute like high caliber match. Like Cody needs to take 20 minutes to beat, you know, Jimmy Havoc or a bullshit like that. Like, I'm not saying every match should be a squash, but you should clearly define who's like top tier talent, who's like mid card, and then that's the only way you can have like the mid card finally when they do get that win. Wow, it's a huge deal, you know.
I get it's like a big deal.
Yeah, I get that you want to make your talents look good, and you think that you're giving them the rub, but if it happens every single match, every single pay-per-view, then it's like, okay. So who's better than the other?
The best example I can give for WWE's sake is like Big E. Big E, you know he's a mid-card guy right now. Trying to get out of the mid-card, trying to go to the next level, to the main event.
Yes.
And because of us knowing his placement all along, we can root for him. The story is being set in such a way that, okay, I know he's at this level. Is he going to break the glass ceiling? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know?
Kofi is the perfect example of that, isn't it?
Kofi as well, right? So because you've toyed long enough in this certain level, and then when you get to the next level, it'll be great. But you see, you can have one time Darby Allin challenge Jericho for the world title. Then he can go down to TNT Championship. You can have Lance Archer at the TNT level. He lost the TNT opportunity. Now he's at the main event level. You have Brian Cage, one time come in, main event level, and go back down. I mean, there's millions and millions of examples. Brody Lee, another one. Main title, go down. Like,
it's a mess,
so interchangeable.
It's
so interchangeable, and that, like, let's not talk about the rankings, because the rankings at this point doesn't mean shit.
Bullshit, Do they even bring it up? Like, I haven't noticed.
They only bring it up as statistics, like, you know, when during the entrances of the wrestlers, they bring it as statistics. But I want it to mean something when they say, okay, I'm going to go on a singles run now. Okay, I want to challenge for the AEW Championship, which I appreciated what Matt Hardy did in his promo this past Dynamite.
On Dynamite.
But we got to talk about his match with Sammy Guevara.
Oh, God. Yeah, here we go then. This is the next match. So Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a... I can't even remember what it was called. It's Last Man Standing.
Broken rules.
Broken rules, whatever. He broke his head. Broken skull, Matt. How about that?
Broken skull challenge.
Oh, okay. So we start off. I like the whole, Sammy drives the golf cart at him. It's a throwback lah.
Nice throwback.
Nice callback. But then that big bump off the scissor lift onto the table, but Matt Hardy was a little bit too far off, so it's back of the head to the concrete.
Yep.
Okay, so I assume that wasn't taped. It was live.
This past All Out was live. Here's the part that I got really, really scared. Because Aubrey already called for the X, right?
Yeah.
Aubrey called for the X. So I assume, real injury.
Yeah.
He's out. But then they continued the match.
Yeah.
So whose decision was that? So that's the thing that was I'm a bit like unsure of.
Yeah.
It seems like it was Matt's decision.
Yeah. I don't know if the X is a work. Is it a shoot X or work X? Because remember, there was a time where the X was a shoot, right? Then fans caught on to it already. Then they decided to work the X into a work. So they would try to blur the lines, right? So when I was watching it, I was like, okay, did he really get concussed? Is this just a really elaborate work or what? You know what I mean?
You know what? If someone gets seriously injured and you can't tell whether it's a shoot or work, at least between the referees and the management, then that's a big problem. Like, okay, they want to work the fans, fine.
But do you think it was they were working the fans by looking confused?
No, I don't think so, because I feel that there was a lot of miscomm between like the management, whoever that was, Tony Khan, that was in their ear, the referee and all that kind of stuff. Because I felt like Aubrey really made a split-second decision at that point in time. I said, okay, he looks really, really serious. And the one where I know that I got really scared was when he stood up, he said he can continue, and then he walked a bit and he fell.
Right.
Do you see how he felt?
Yeah.
That wasn't like a
the thing with
theatrical fall. Like it's really him.
Blacking
his
out.
senses weren't there.
Yeah, and for someone like Matt Hardy, the second he gets back up, he's going to be like, I'm fine. And you cannot let your performers dictate that. If the trainer comes in and says you cannot continue, then just call the match. That's the draw. I mean, that's the perk of live wrestling. You can call the match on the fly.
But you know why they are handcuffed, right? Because of the stipulation. If Matt Hardy lost, he had to leave AEW. So was that stupid stipulation that was part of it.
They can rewrite what? He can come back as somebody else. He can wear a mask. They can do a contract on the pole match. It's not as if they haven't written themselves out of this type of thing before. And then he takes a 2-week break. He's concussed anyway.
I know. I felt like this was a example where AEW really showed that they are still inexperienced handling like live situations.
Yes.
This was a very great example where if there was someone with cooler heads prevailing, they would have known how to act in certain situations. I felt like there was a moment where everyone was panicking.
And didn't know what to do,
And didn't know what to do. And I think it definitely sounded and looked like it was Matt Hardy who was like, hey guys, let me just finish this spot.
Yeah.
I just need to do this last spot and like finish it off.
Yeah, I can do it.
And that's where they got a lot of flack because of that. And the problem with this feud, it's not just Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy in this match, In the build-up to this match, like there are various matches before this, there's been a lot of crazy botches.
Yeah.
Remember the one that Sammy Guevara threw the chair at him, busted the side of his head.
Right, yeah.
Crazy stitches. And that one I know was a shoot for a fact. But then they used that shoot as a work because the next week, Matt Hardy returned the receipt and like purposely busted up. So like I felt like already it started off like they're trying to one up each other, trying to go all out with this like intensity and violence.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time it's gonna become crazy and something bad is gonna happen. So it felt like it's coming,
You know, the funny thing is when you hear Matt Hardy talk to like Chris Jericho on his podcast interviews, right? He's talking about how, he's the one that doesn't take as many bumps as his brother. And now that he's older too, he's going to take less, but he's going to be more deliberate in what he does. It's not about the bumps. And then his first big program, he comes in here and takes 1,000,000,001 bumps, falls off a fucking scissor lift. Like, what is going on? I don't understand.
He's trying his best. Like one side of it is he wants to hang with the younger guys.
Yeah.
He wants to hang with Sammy, show that he can still do it, and trying to impress them. Maybe there's a side of him that wants to feel that he can do all this shit again.
He doesn't need to though, and he should just he should listen to himself. And
I wish he stayed in the broken gimmick because when he stayed in the broken gimmick, he can do a lot of like smoke and mirrors, and play along and that kind of stuff. And I do get his reason for not playing to that gimmick at this point in time, because there's no fans and there's no point. But I don't know, like just this, I will not die. Matt Hardy is when he does all the stupid crazy things lah.
Yeah, and well, I mean it's just detrimental to his health. Yeah,
Is Sammy Guevara to blame in any of this?
No, I think not, because he's too green and he's just going to go with everything Matt says. And if he suggests something and Matt says yes, then it's on Matt. Right?
Okay.
Because Matt is the veteran. He should be the one saying, actually, this is a bit over the top. Let's not do this. Let's instead do something else. Let's milk the moment. We can blade, but have it. And okay, this is the other problem. There was a lot of blading also in this pay-per-view.
Yeah, this pay-per-view, right?
So as we'll find out later.
Obviously, there was a lot of hysteria, because he went to the hospital. They thought he had a concussion. I saw his wife's Twitter, Rebecca. She was like being very, very angry at Tony Khan. It's like everyone in that building should be ashamed of themselves, blah blah blah, right?
But funny thing is, she was on Dynamite.
So Tony Khan basically came out and after that and said that he didn't have a concussion and that he's 100% fine and he'll be on Dynamite. So I don't know whether between those moments, probably there was some internal private chat between Tony and like the family and saying like, okay, maybe you've gone too far, or like, okay, tone it down, blah, blah, blah. He's really not injured.
Yeah.
Like, they did force him to take a lot of tests. And I do believe that they would have done that.
Yeah.
And maybe that them going on Dynamite this past week was his way, Tony Khan's way of like trying to placate to the family. Like, okay.
Bro, that promo was 100%. I'm fine. Stop scolding Tony Khan. That's all I got from that promo. I'm sorry. But as I was watching it, I'm like, okay, it's heartfelt and heartfelt enough. And then somehow the wife is there because, you know, she was the one who tweeted it. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, Tony Khan told them to do that.
They wanted to show like this unity, like, okay, no more. Let's not talk shit about each other. Let's try to draw a line under it.
Yeah. Bro, it's smacked of that 100%.
But if the end goal was that it gives Matt time away to recover and then come back, I think it accomplished a lot in that segment, you know, because they reassured the fans that he's okay.
Yeah.
He apologized to his kids and his wife, which I think he needed to.
Yeah, legit.
They didn't talk shit about management or what. They didn't say like, oh, I could have continued, but they didn't allow blah blah blah. He owned it up, said it was his mistake, and he wants to go away and rest. And he also create the tease that anticipated, okay, when he comes there, he wants to challenge for a singles run. So I felt that, okay, fine, you go away, go rest up, and then when you come back better, and then we tell a whole new story. I like that he said that, okay, this feud with Sammy is over. He brought up a great point. The longer they go, it's going to continue, the more they're going to try to one-up each other and do a lot of stupid shit. So I'm glad that it's out of the way.
It felt like a bit of a shoot in that he's owning up to him doing this match. So this promo actually got multiple layers, if you think about it.
Yeah.
My thing is though, like, if he had lost the match, at least Sammy would have gotten the rub by defeating this veteran in a big way. And he can always come back and say, oh, it was a fluke win, it was an accident. And he could have taken the time off to recover from a freaking legit concussion.
I agree. And I wish it was Sammy that was the one that came out on Dynamite and cut a promo.
Yeah, but he wasn't even on the card on Dynamite at all, huh?
Yeah, so I was worried. Like, was he also injured legitimately that they kept it hush-hush? I don't know. But you're right, bro. Sammy hasn't had a breakout moment where he beat like a very established guy yet. Right? Isn't that so?
Yeah, and he needs to. I mean, you talk about potential. I mean, he's the one, right? I
feel so bad for him because I think a lot of his momentum was derailed because of the Me Too or
the Sasha Banks tweet that resurfaced from years ago.
And that was right on when he was like just finished Double or Nothing. He had a whole funny period where he keep getting run over by golf carts. He's becoming a meme lord.
Yeah.
And then this shit happened. So I think he has to rebuild back the momentum slowly.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I think that match put a lot of fans off, put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And that coming after the Casino Battle Royale, after the whole Big Swole thing. So it's like negative feelings. It
wasn't great, you know, leading up to that already. You know, it's kind of shitty. So that was like one of the matches that I really wanted to deliver.
Yeah.
Didn't deliver. And it just went the other way.
Yeah, it went sideways. So, next match, I don't think a lot of people had high expectations, but it was a good match. They wrestled their asses off. Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa.
Okay. This is actually one of the matches that I did enjoy. Like, because both wrestlers could work. Yeah. Both wrestlers could perform. There wasn't, and I'm so sad that this is the level that I'm basing the standard of AEW's women wrestlers on. But there wasn't any botches. They were trying to tell a good story. Yeah. So and I like that Thunder Rosa is there rapping NWA. I'm a fan of NWA. So
I know, but to me, it feels inconsequential. At the end of the day, Thunder Rosa is not going to stay there for a long time. She's not going to be a mainstay unless they do sign her over or something.
Are you saying it's like it felt more like an exhibition match than anything else?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there are any long-term consequences. Like, okay, I believe next week on Dynamite, Thunder Rosa is fighting, who is it? Is it Ivelisse or somebody for the TNT title?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember who as well.
The TNT?
No, TNT. The TNA.
The women's?
Not TNA. Fuck. The NWA women's title.
Also, that means so they're sending someone from All Elite in return back.
No. It's on Dynamite. So Thunder Rosa will defend her title on Dynamite against, I can't remember who. Let me see if I can Google that.
Does this mean that NWA is going to continue this working relationship with AEW? There's going to be more of such back and forth? Because I feel like if that's the case, it's great for NWA.
But it's also like now you have an extra belt and it's confusing for people. I'm not a fan of this at all. Like, okay, I'm loading it. She will face...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Who's that?
Ivelisse. She is facing Ivelisse next week. So Ivelisse is not really a main event. Then again, there is no main event in the women's division in All Elite.
Yeah, but I mean, I love Ivelisse though. I'm a big fan of her since Lucha Underground days.
But this is just going to be an exhibition match where Thunder Rosa defends her title. There's no worry of her losing.
The main issue, I guess you're trying to say, is that we haven't even established the women's division yet. Why are you going to bring a new title into the picture?
And most people won't understand what title this is. Like, what is this NWA? Oh, there's another product out there. Like, it's confusing to people. I remember I likened this to... Yeah. Like, I don't know if you remember back in the 90s or was it the 80s? They tried to bring the NWA tag team titles to the WWE. Like, they had... there was a cross-promo, Jim Cornette and the News...
the Midnight Express?
I can't remember who it was. But there was that one point, and this was when I was a bit younger, so I didn't know exactly what, all these different federations were. So it confused the shit out of me. How come you got your WWF Tag Team Champions, and then you got this other NWA Tag Team Champions? Where are they from? I've never heard of them. I don't know who they are. They're in there with random matches with people. So it's like, huh? To me, it serves no purpose.
Yeah, like unless it's like a mega card, like for me, a mega card is New Japan and AEW. And then I can see, like, if one guy from New Japan challenges for the TNT Championship, I think that would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Or like the other way around, right? And it goes back to the point that AEW needs to really build their women's division into something great.
Yeah.
Like who's in the division that like it's that has a connection with the crowd right now, or like it's very established.
Nyla Rose. The Vicious Vixens.
Nyla Rose. Is it me or did Vicky Guerrero wear like a t-shirt with her in a bikini posing?
Yes. It's a big...
Oh my God.
Vicious Vixens shirt with Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero in bikinis on the shirt. So I'm like, that's interesting. Okay. I'm interested to see who's going to buy that. But okay. Can you imagine next week, the number one seller on AEW shop is that shirt.
Wow, you guys are very weird fetishes, but okay.
Hey, it's cool, man. It's all good. It's all good, But the match itself, yes, it's two workers who can go. They worked a good match. The only issue with it, like I said, no consequences. I don't see anything long-term here.
I am interested in a few people in AEW that they have signed for the women's division. Okay. I'm a fan of Tenara Conti, because you know about her joining AEW.
Yeah, and she had a match on Dynamite where she got squashed. So welcome to AEW. Here's Nyla Rose to beat you up.
I guess that's the level that she should start all. Good that she's not coming as a star. But why I like her is because obviously her BJJ background. I think it's I just love that that they have women with different styles that is very distinct. So that would make her stand out at least.
Here's the thing. I remember watching her on NXT, and somehow she stood out. I don't know why she doesn't stand out here. I don't know if it's the look, it's the presentation. It just doesn't stand out. Something about her look has changed.
I think the way she's being presented right now, because I think in NXT they do a great job in at least telling the stories of each wrestlers.
Yeah.
I don't know whether the commentators do not know about her background yet or what, because they didn't say, oh, she's a BJJ practitioner, blah blah. They didn't hype up her credentials that much,
Well, if anybody isn't that what Excalibur is there to do?
Apparently he doesn't watch BJJ lah.
He doesn't watch NXT.
Yeah. And I love how she looks. She's gorgeous, and she got that South American, Latino flair, which is pretty cool. So like like in terms of new talent that's coming out, I really like her. I'm a huge fan of Anna Jay. for obvious reasons, but also because of her association with Dark Order, which makes her interesting. So like the women that are in very interesting positions in the company, I feel have a lot of potential.
Yeah, but they're all
and
starting
your favorite
out.
girl. Yeah, they're all still starting out. They haven't, like, basically, I'm not comparing them to, like, I'm not comparing them to Trish or Lita, but I feel like they are at the beginnings of having the potential to be that.
Correct.
But they're still at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Your favorite girl is not anywhere to be seen in the division, though.
Who is my favorite girl now?
Your Brandy Rhodes.
Oh, Brandy Rhodes. Oh, thank goodness. She should just concentrate on her chief branding officer role, and not try to be a wrestler. Because you are allowed. Anyway.
But okay lah, like we all acknowledge that this is their weakest division, and as long as they continue to improve, they continue to strive to get better, that's all we can hope for, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Hold on, I dropped the speaker, so I need to.
Oh my god. Okay.
Or rather, a
no
speaker
worries,
drop.
No worries,
I kicked it.
All good.
Okay, so let's move on then. Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares versus the Dark Order.
Okay. Very random, everyone put together, but I know they all have individual stories with the Dark Order.
Yeah.
But them together felt like okay.
The main story is Cody getting destroyed by Brody Lee, what? So they're all friends of
so it's
Cody.
all these people are standing up for Cody, right?
Cody's friends and family versus the Dark Order, essentially.
Did anyone stand out in the opposition team for you?
Opposition
like
team?
This as in the Matt Cardona's team?
Maybe QT Marshall. I think they gave him, quite a bit of a shine. Yeah, but...
Do you like him though?
No, he's very bland. Very bland to me.
That's the thing.
So,
what is he? What does he do?
He's, Cody's friend. Nepotism got him here.
Can I say something very weird?
What?
I feel like whatever that make Zack Ryder so charming and has so much personality in WWE is completely gone here in AEW, bro. Like, what is he like? Some intense Jack fella. That's all he is right now.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he's gonna be like a promo guy. I thought he's gonna be like full of like cool
energy,
segments and shit like that.
But none of that.
Now he's going down a different path. He just want to be intense and serious. But now that makes you boring.
Maybe.
Like Cardona doesn't stand out in any way.
Maybe he has.
Other than his body.
But maybe that's why WWE never thought he could be anything other than an Intercontinental Champion. Anything above that. Maybe they knew already, and that's why they never pushed him. And it's not so much, WWE is holding him down. Maybe he's holding himself down. Because now he has the opportunity. Let's, be honest here. Now that they're here in AEW and supposedly they can do whatever they want, or they have more free reign with their creativity, right? So the onus is on them to come out and be exciting. And if you're not coming out there and not engaging with the viewer, then maybe it's not the WWE's fault that you didn't get over, quote unquote.
Do you feel that they got over because of their characters, not because of them? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, the real person, they're nice guys and all that, but they're not why you want to watch wrestling. You watch them because he's like that Jersey Shore guy. He's full of these quotes.
Yeah.
He's full of these lame puns.
But then
it
again,
made him very charming.
Yeah, but then again, can that character go anywhere past the IC level? No. That's why he never got there.
There is a ceiling to him. So, okay, Matt Cardona wants to get serious, right, in AEW. But serious can be freaking Dean Malenko. But it's boring, But what would make the intensity something that relatable? I don't know. They're not highlighting him well enough. Because now I know him as Cody's friend. And that's it.
Yeah. Maybe because he's come in as a second fiddle, third fiddle, and he's been lumped with this group, so he's not going to be able to shine. So it's just a matter of, we have too many people we're highlighting now, you just wait. So he's lost in the shuffle.
That's the thing. Could be an issue with he's getting really stacked in the AEW roster. I mean, I'm excited to see how all of them will come together, but also I'm very worried that, like I said, too many cooks can't make a good meal, right?
Yeah,
I forgot what's the term.
Too many cooks spoil the broth. Or spoil the soup. Yeah.
So basically right now AEW is not a nice broth to eat.
No, it's like you try to throw too many things in there. Yeah, Scorpio Sky somehow got thrown in the mix, but Kazarian and Christopher Daniels are off, goofing off in AEW Dark.
Yeah. And that's the thing. This is supposed to be one of the, what do you call it? One of the top tier matches for this show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that we have made it worth it was if Dark Order won. And like Dark Order had like a very strong, dominant performance.
Well, I think they were saving that moment for Dynamite. So obviously, now that we know that Dustin Rhodes will eventually get a title shot against Brody Lee on Dynamite, this match basically was the setup to that match. Like, this is the type of match that will happen on the show before the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Have the big 8-man before the actual title match. Instead, they did it the other way around.
Why couldn't Dustin and Brody be a match at All Out? I would have been more invested.
Yeah.
Dustin would have made a great way of selling it.
Well, they wanted to get everybody. See, that's the problem. They wanted to get everybody in the show. All my friends, I want to get them on the show. Get Matt Cardona in, get Cutie Marshall. Like, yeah, that's exactly it.
If Cutie Marshall just sat at the outside, just as the ring manager, Scorpius can take him out of the match. Matt Cardona comes in for an interference or some shit like that. But it's still one-on-one. I would have loved that match the same.
Yeah. Well, maybe
more.
Maybe we should be booking for AEW then.
Money, somebody hire us.
Money. No, it's easy to talk I guess, at the end of the day. So anyway, let's move on. FTR versus Kenny Omega and Adam Page. Okay, this was the match I was low-key looking forward to the most because I wanted to see FTR finally, cut loose and do what they do best, and that's tag team wrestling. And I think...
So what do you think of the match?
I enjoyed it. I think in a lot of ways it delivered on what it was supposed to be. And this is like the first time they are meeting in the ring as well. And the right team went over, at least, and they teased the whole Adam Page, Kenny Omega. They teased Omega like turning, he didn't want to pick up Adam Page. He walked off. He acted like a brat to two very poorly acted young bucks. Those two really cannot. Yeah, it's like she cannot act. They're acting very bad.
Okay. This was the match that disappointed me the most. This was the match that I was super like, this should have saved the pay-per-view.
Really? Was the bar, did you set the bar too high for this match? Like, what were you expecting?
No, it's not that. The payoff sucked. I knew FTR was going to win.
Yeah.
That was telegraphed. That should have been the right decision. That is the right decision. I wanted the dissolution of Hangman and Kenny Omega to be the exclamation point in this pay-per-view to make it memorable. Kenny Omega should have turned heel full on in this match instead of that weird ass shit that they did.
Right.
Mistake hit by accident, and then they're like, I don't talk to you okay I walk away.
I storm off.
Obviously the young bucks be like,
yeah.
It's like very
wishy-washy.
Okay, I think they really took a lot of they really followed New Japan in this, because I know this kind of shit that they did in New Japan. It's like the wishy-washy, I want to turn heel, I don't want to turn heel. Like, there was no definitive statement,
Yeah.
If Kenny Omega turned heel full on, beat the shit out of Hangman Page, destroyed him after the match, right? What would have been the talking point coming out All Out?
This lah.
Oh my god,
Kenny
Omega
cleaner
turned heel.
Yeah.
The cleaner is back. Everyone would have wanted to see what happened at Dynamite this week, right? Instead, we have a weird okay lah, we're not happy lah, okay lah, and it was so bad that it soured the quality of the match for me.
Right.
Because up until that point, I was it's like how a good example would be the Finn Balor and Seth Rollins match from SummerSlam 2016.
Okay.
It was a great match, but nobody remembered it because of two things. One, obviously because of Finn Balor getting injured, right?
Yeah.
And secondly, because the crowd was busy shitting on the Universal title because he looked like shit.
Yeah.
No one remember how great of a match it was.
Right. Yeah.
So up until the point of the ending, and I was like, okay, wow, okay, Adam Page took the knee. Oh my god, there was like this miscommunication. Okay, FTR won. Okay, what's gonna happen? And then that happened, and I was like, fuck man, like everything leading up to that, I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But there wasn't the exclamation mark that made this match memorable / iconic.
Yeah.
And here's the thing I'm scared of, bro.
What?
Yeah. Why I'm scared is because we are only at year 2 of AEW's existence, right? They've lost a lot of momentum in terms of people looking forward to the pay-per-views anymore.
Yeah.
And we can say COVID helped with with dulling the momentum a bit, yes. But like, I was super excited for last year's All Out. And it's Adam Page and Chris Jericho. Adam Page at that point in time wasn't as cool as he is now.
Yeah.
But the anticipation, every match felt exciting and there was an anticipation. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I agree with you. Those are all 100% valid points. I feel like they are trying to slow burn this a little bit too much. Like, okay, as we saw on Dynamite, you had the interview with Adam Page, who, like we said, surprisingly, is quite a good actor. He was very
promo guy,
good promo. Like he's like very somber. He's like, but I still want to make it work. He's like in a relationship, the one who wants to make it work, and the other one's like, fuck it, I've had enough. And there's I don't know if they're trying to play off this wishy-washy like BGR, boyfriend girlfriend relationship, where they're like, I want to be together, but I don't want it. It's not working. And can we try to make it work? Because then they had the interview with Kenny Omega, and he's like, yeah, I don't want. This is not going to work. I don't want to. I'm done with this. So that to you wasn't enough of an impact, lah.
Even him saying, okay, I want to focus on my singles. Okay, lah. I think if he thinks that we're gonna get back together, maybe we should have other plans. I got other plans. Like wasn't.
It's not definitive. Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
It felt like
to your point, like memorable moments. WWE are very good at creating memorable moments, right? Everything from I love you, I'm sorry, to random crimson masks. It's me all along. Those are moments that you, even out of context, you can still remember them, even if you don't remember who were involved, right? You remember those moments. And
I'm worried for the lack of moments that AEW has been able to produce.
Well, I mean, if we move on to the next match, I think Meme Lord, the King Meme Lord, helped to create
Jericho
a
at
moment.
This point. Yeah, Jericho at this point is just a meme king.
So, but you see, that's the thing. Like, he is the veteran and he has the veteran status to ask for these things, and he knows how to create moments. So yes, he went in and he lost to Orange Cassidy, like quite cleanly, to be honest. And I was a little bit annoyed at that because, I think the world of Chris Jericho, but I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to put Orange Cassidy over. And at the end of the day, he can always come back and say, oh, you threw me into a pool. It wasn't a pin. You didn't submit me. It's not a real victory. So as a heel, you can always say that, right? My worry here is that after this, because now technically the feud is over, this was the blow off, right? Jericho and Orange Cassidy, Jericho has given Orange Cassidy the rub. Can Orange Cassidy and AEW management then parlay that into, more
something
good feuds?
Something substantial.
Watching Dynamite, I was like, there wasn't much. Yeah, there was no follow-up. There was no like, oh, what's next for Orange Cassidy? He just had a random match with Angelico, who we haven't seen in ages. Like, it's like a jobber match, and then, best friends came in, they hug, blah, 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 that's it. So
it became more about like the best friends feud instead,
No, it's like a reminder, by the way, you've been hanging out with the main event guys. By the way, you actually our friend, huh? It's like pulling him back. And I actually didn't like that they tried to do that. I feel like he should have moved on.
Like he went back to his
mid-cut route.
Like he went back to his normal level, right?
Yeah, and I was
it's
like,
like
oh
Kofi
man.
lah. Like,
yeah, exactly. So it feels like, okay, the only way I feel like they can save this is if the best friends turn on him. If they get jealous of his success. They're like, holy, you think you're too big for us, but Orange Cassidy is just being himself. He's always been like that. So I feel like there is
where else can Cassidy go though? Like, who else can he feud with after Jericho?
Like I said,
the next thing in line, he should be contending for the title really. Like, that's only
but
fair path.
We know that A, that's two faces facing off, and B, Mox is busy with somebody else. That's why my suggestion is have him have a mid-card feud with the best friends who turn heel, who get jealous, right? And I think they can make it work. I think there is a story there. There's that whole like, it's like, okay, if you have a friend, and this is something we can all relate to, if you have a friend who all of a sudden is very successful, making a lot of money, and then you get jealous of him or her, right? And they're like, oh, you never hang out with us anymore. Oh, we used to be best friends. And then you turn on them. So you are the heels. So, you know what I mean? It's definitely...
I feel our life is just full of wrestling storylines.
Well, I mean, all these storylines are inspired by real life anyway, right? So there's definitely a story to be told. And with Orange Cassidy's newfound rub, while it's still nice and shiny from Chris Jericho, he can help elevate the Best Friends as well as a legitimate tag team heel.
But okay, what I like about his growth as a wrestler is that now when I watch Cassidy matches, I don't think it's just a comedy match.
Mm-hmm.
So like I do feel like there will be stories being told. He will be serious as a wrestler, and he didn't do much of his like comedy shtick. In this match with Angelico, even though he could revert back to that, but he didn't. So
I just hope he keeps
now,
it.
I guess serious. Yeah, but, I mean, there are moments where he can play around. He can be funny like The Rock, backstage. But when it comes to go, he can go. So
well, even in the ring too. Like Rock has moments in the ring where he does the people's elbow. I mean, Orange Cassidy can still do the hand in the pockets thing. That's fine, lah.
I just hope he keeps that. I hope he keeps that momentum, lah. He's one of the guys that I will keep an eye for. Like I want him to like in year 3, right, be a breakout star. Like have a Cinderella story where he challenges for the title and be a part of a very big, huge storyline. Are you very interested and very curious with Jericho though? What he's gonna do after?
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because on Dynamite, he essentially together with Jake Hager declared that he's coming for the tag team title. So they are a team, which doesn't make sense to me because Ortiz and Santana are a team. So that's 2 tag teams in one faction.
That is the point.
Like, and they are both heels.
Here's the thing.
And they are going up against a heel tag team champion as well.
Okay, when Inner Circle came together, what was my thought? I thought Jericho is going to be champion. Maybe Jake Hager is going to be like mid-card champion. And then we're going to have like the tag team champions with Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah, exactly.
None of that has come to fruition so far except for Jericho being champion. So, right, I'm curious. Sammy Guevara has gotten a great rub. I think he's definitely has progressed since he first joined Inner Circle in the first episode, right, of Dynamite. But what has Inner Circle done for Ortiz, Santana, and Jake Hager? Other than let them be known as Jericho's lackeys.
Yeah, but to be fair, I feel like they have shined in a way that they wouldn't have if they weren't part of Chris Jericho's, Inner Circle, as it were. I think they've gotten screen time.
They have, the getting the screen time is definitely an important part of being in a circle, but to fully squeeze and fully say that this association is worthwhile is if they finally win a title. And Santana and Ortiz is nowhere near the tag team contention. And then now Jake Hager and Jericho's inside it.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like,
I don't know what's
like
going on.
It's doing them a disservice.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there.
I mean, I don't disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree that Jericho and Hager is going to be a great tag team, right? It reminds me a bit of Jerry Show back in the day.
No, but why though? Why? You don't need them as a tag team because there are too many tag teams now.
Yeah, the tag team division is stacked. It is the best in the world right now. Like WWE has great tag teams, but as a whole collective, they don't come close.
Yeah.
But what if you have too many tag teams, but you only have one tag team title?
Correct. It's going to be a mess.
Yeah, so
well, I mean, we'll have to see.
It's gonna be a mess,
And will Jericho become the champions? They just gave it to FTR, and FTR need to hold on to it to establish their dominance. So it doesn't make sense for me for like a main eventer to come after it.
It would make more sense, bro, if they form a new face tag team. I think there's too many heels. Like the only face tag team that we have is what? I mean, Young Bucks is there, but Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy,
they're not ready.
They're not ready. They have Private Party. They have Best Friends. But instead of adding a new tag team, why not try to bring up Best Friends to the next level?
Correct.
Why not try to bring up Private Party to the next level? So a lot of very confusing decisions.
And wasn't Matt Hardy supposed to be mentoring the Private Party? So like they just mentioned it.
He did.
What has it led them to?
Nothing. Like he gave them a shout out.
Yeah, exactly.
His promo at Dynamite.
And then Matt Hardy went and did his thing with Sammy Guevara, got his head knocked off, and that's it. So it's like, it hasn't... See, there are a lot of weird loose ends, do you notice, that are not being tied up? Like, we blame WWE and we shit on them for that. AEW is just as guilty of this.
When I remember very clearly, like, at the beginning of Dynamite, I think Cody or Tony Khan said that we have a 2-year plan for AEW. Like we have all our storylines written in all the way until like 2 years in, that kind of thing, right? But this is like in year 2, so that means they're supposed to be in the middle of like their storylines being paid off. To be fair, I give them credit where it's due. Everything up until Double or Nothing felt like very cohesive storytelling. But I think after the virus, I think it feels like they are in WWE's position where they're kind of like coming up with storylines on the fly because nothing feels very cohesive right now.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't you agree?
It's funny though, they are at that position where WWE was before Thunderdome.
Yep.
Feels like.
I feel like they need a restart. I don't know whether it's a restart or like a recalibration of their storyline feuds. Like, okay, All Out has been paid off, but what stories are they going to tell now?
They need a Bruce Pritchard to sort of tie everything together, much like he's done for the WWE. And this whole idea, and this goes back to the whole idea of letting the inmates run the asylum. You know, I know Mox is so adamant about the fact that, I get the creative control, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you might think you know what you're doing, but you don't know, like, from a macro perspective. And a lot of talent are like that, you know, working in this business for however many years I have done as well, and being, quote unquote, a mentor to some of the DJs here as well. I see it all the time. Your stuff is always the most important. My shit is the best shit. Everyone else's shit, okay lah, whatever lah, let them do. You know what I mean? That's the creative mentality. If you are a creative person, that's what you're thinking. You look at basketball, you look at someone like Michael Jordan. Like, he was the center of the world. He's great. Everyone else is sort of his bit player. That's his mentality. And you, in a way, have to have that sort of mentality if you want to be ultra creative, right?
Yep.
So
you want to be... If you want to be the center of attention, you have to act like you're going to be the center of attention. You know, like, it's just a subconscious thing, right? You want to be the best, you got to act like you're the best, you got to treat everyone like they're not as good as you. Yeah,
but the problem is sometimes you don't know how good you are or not. You know, like someone like Stone Cold Steve Austin, I guarantee you he thought he was like, storyline should focus around me. He will do what's right for business, but at the end of the day, it should be about me. And he's the one who's drawing, you know? But the thing is, someone like John Moxley, someone like, I don't know, Hardcore Holly maybe thought the same thing as well, but they weren't drawing.
Can I ask a question then?
Sure.
And this is a very controversial question now. Do you think Tony Khan has the leadership ability to be able to keep his inmates in check, one, and also have the gall to tell the wrestlers like, nah, I don't think you're good enough. No, I want to push this guy instead. No. Like, how much of a creative final decision that Tony Khan has that he can sign off on it? Because we know he's a great people person. He's more of like a millennial leader or like a modern kind of leader where it's very collaborative and that kind of stuff. And he'll take out a lot of collaboration. But there comes a point where something is not working. Will he have the ability to tell them, nah, you're not doing it as a champion. You're not selling.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, we need to see him do it for a few more years to be able to make a judgment. I feel like it's only been 2 years. You know what I mean? He's still got many, many years to prove himself. And Vince has done this for his whole life. So, and Vince comes into it not as a fan with a lot of money, you know. This is his business. This is his family business.
He built it up. Right?
From scratch. Meanwhile, Tony Khan like basically had the money already, so like, I'm buying this shit. So it's a different thing lah.
Do you think that AEW has like ups and downs, and there will be like peaks right now, which is currently right now, and there will be valleys, and then there will be peaks in the future? Or do you feel that they will just lose momentum to the point that they're not relevant, they become Impact?
I hate to say that. And okay, I feel like as long as they have one or two main eventers with experience, veterans like Chris Jericho, like maybe even a Cody, as long as they have one or two of those who can lead and show by example, then they're okay. But let's say if Chris Jericho decides, okay, I'm done wrestling altogether, then I think they have a huge problem on their hands. If Cody is like, okay, I'm done, then they have a huge problem. Because these young guys, my worry
is if the current of generation matures or leaves, or like, they reach a certain age where they can't be the main eventers anymore and they have to hand on the baton to the next generation. I think that's when it's make or break for AEW.
Yeah.
Can they literally build stars? That's the thing.
My big issue now is that I don't think there's anybody there that is at that level or seems to be going towards that level. Not Kenny Omega, not the Young Bucks. In a lot of ways, not Cody. I don't think they are sort of that next generation of leaders. If that makes sense to you.
I mean, Cody. I think Cody is a great he's a great rah-rah kind of leader guy. But like the one that is like the ace of the company, which we always assume that is gonna be Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Moxley. Okay, that's the only thing that is like the salvaging point for me to keep watching AEW. I really, really want to see Kenny Omega become his cleaner God mode level again.
Yeah.
And they've said that it's by design. He spent his first year devoting to like the tag team division to build it up. He wants to he doesn't want to get the spotlight, so he wants to build up the company. And a lot of people thought that he's supposed to be the number one guy from the moment the company started, right? And I'm holding out hope that is eventually what's going to happen. Because if him in his God mode crazy cleaner level still doesn't do it for me, right? I don't know what else is exciting in AEW anymore.
You know what needs to happen, right? He needs to stop,
What?
and they need to stop stroking everybody's ego and build a freaking star. He needs to go in and demolish people in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Just like this brutal side of him, like V-trigger, Angel, one-wing Angel, that's it. No need to do all these flips, flops, and all that shit. Just go in there with your greatest hits, build him up as a legit, like, holy shit, he's on some sort of next level shit right now.
And that's just the thing. Like when I was watching him in New Japan, it's not just the fact he can perform in the ring that made him great. He was a great promo guy, bro. Like he was shitting on Tanahashi. He was like egging on Okada. He was being a great antagonist. And that like final boss level, I think is someone that is missing in AEW right now. Since Jericho left the scene in the main title, there hasn't been an end boss. There needs to be like that tiers,
guy.
right?
Yeah, like Jericho was the end boss and he was the painmaker. So I feel like now that he became the demo god, it's like a transition in his character. Now I'm the goofy, funny guy. The demo god is the goofy, funny one, whereas the painmaker was the one doing like he spiked Jon Moxley's eye, that kind of shit, right? So you're exactly right. We need a top heel so that, and maybe that's the big problem with AEW right now. They have a top babyface, but there's no like obvious
great
top
cast
heel.
of characters around him, right?
Like who is your mega evil heel? Nobody.
And I'm not saying that there isn't any potential to be. Like there's a lot of great stars that if you build them up, it will be great. And I really, really want to talk about Dynamite and the debut of obviously Miro. Like we gotta talk about Miro in a bit.
We haven't gotten to the main event of the pay-per-view yet, so let's quickly talk about that. Jon Moxley, easy for me to say, Jon Moxley defeated MJF. Did you enjoy this match at least? Because I did.
I did.
Yes, and I finally enjoyed a Jon Moxley match. But
was it because of Jon Moxley or because of MJF?
It was a lot of it because of it was because of Jon Moxley as well, but a lot of it was MJF as well. And like the whole blading thing, I know what they were trying to do, and this goes back to my whole issue of every match top to bottom except for the Hikaru Shida, and maybe that's why the Shida Rosa match stood out, because there wasn't like an over reliance on violence, or maybe there was actually a little bit, or blood, but there was just too much in the entire pay-per-view so that it became very exhausting. And like we said before, if every pay-per-view someone bleeds or thumbtacks get pulled out, then it doesn't become unique anymore. It doesn't become special. And they're just digging themselves into a deeper and deeper grave because they need to escalate. How can you escalate? And
that's true.
This goes back to the very first AEW freaking pay-per-view. And they seem to have forgotten
that. In this occasion, right, bro? In this occasion, right, bro, I do believe that there needed to be blood in this match.
No.
Because
don't get me wrong.
MJF needed to be taught a lesson.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree that MJF should have gotten color. Therefore, if you know that your main event is going to be particularly brutal, the rest of your matches, someone should have said, don't fucking bring out the body bag with the thumbtacks. Don't fall off a scaffolding. Don't, you know what I mean? So that would be the most brutal thing of the night.
Escalation.
Yeah, escalation, like we said.
Yeah, the escalation should have been well done,
Yeah, we already saw somebody fucking almost break their skull earlier. So now there's the Crimson Mask is like, you've taken the shine away from the brutality of it, if that makes sense.
I agree. The story that was being told in this match, I felt was great. Like, it was more of like MJF's comeuppance, but also it was a way for MJF to prove that he has the Moxley, he has the balls to hang with like a violent guy like Moxley.
Yeah, and his loss
that was proven.
Yeah, and his loss came as a quote unquote a fuck up when he was trying to cheat, the ring, and then John Moxley doing the paradigm shift. Yeah, that was, it all fits into his character, so there's nothing wrong with that. The story being told was great. Yeah. It's just that it got watered down.
Yeah. I even like that, John Moxley did the low blow. Like, I really felt that it wasn't to show that he was weak or that he couldn't beat MJF without an illegal maneuver. It was more of like him, like giving taking revenge on MJF. Like, oh, you do all this like underhanded shit on me.
Yeah,
like, I will do one underhanded shit to see how you feel like.
No, it's fine. You, If A fits his character, like I said, and we know wrestling logic. If the bad guy does something illegal, then it's okay for the good guy to do it after.
Yeah, it's fair game, right?
Fair game,
about it's fair play.
Yeah, wrestling. Yeah, wrestling logic. Yeah.
Yeah. Completely agree, bro. So it was a great match, but like we've mentioned before in our preview, MJF is not at the level where he's ready to be the guy leading the company. Not yet.
Okay, well, moving forward then, now that MJF has fired, quote unquote, on Dynamite, fired his elections team or whatever, and he got into Wardlow's face. And then Wardlow, like, what the fuck? So are we going to see Wardlow, MJF?
Very Batista vibes, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this has been done to death.
Very Batista Triple H vibes.
Shawn Michaels Diesel, Shawn Michaels Sid Vicious or Sid Justice. This is the bodyguard turns on the smarmy heel moment.
Is it the perfect time?
I feel like Wardlow has... he had a bit of momentum coming in, and then now all of a sudden he became the bodyguard and he's just kind of tapered off. So this is going to take a few weeks to build. We have to care about Wardlow. I don't care about Wardlow now. I mean, the whole line, MJF threw in a line, do you want your family to go hungry or something like that? See, that was brilliant. Yeah. You're making Wardlow human.
A family man.
He's trying to feed his family.
Doing it because...
So I hope that they continue down that road and make him more of a relatable character, because you physically can't relate to Wardlow. He's huge. He's a horse.
Hey, man! If Wardlow ends up inevitably becoming a face, it could be one of the breakout stars that we're talking about. Like building of stars.
Yeah.
Do you know why? I thought this guy is gonna suck in the ring. And then he had that match with Cody at the steel cage.
Yeah.
And he was a badass. Like he looked like he belonged in the ring, and he could move well. He's not Brock Lesnar level, but I would dare say he is like, like a Batista, Lashley at their most compelling.
Wow. That's high praise.
Yeah. I felt because like when Batista was the champion on top, right?
Yeah.
People shit on his in-ring work. They were saying like, he's not as good as Brock Lesnar. He's trying to be Brock Lesnar, he's not good. But then when he had his feud with Edge, he had his feud with Undertaker, I think that those series of matches proved that Batista could do a main event match and made it exciting and stuff, right?
Yeah.
When he did that turn with Triple H, remember that slow burn turn?
Yeah.
And everyone was like rooting, really wanted Batista to be the guy.
To break out, yeah.
And I feel like if they play it right with Wardlow, especially like you said, you brought up, it was a great line that he said, threatening the family and that kind of stuff, right? If they can make him like, he is sympathetic because he has a family, maybe he's doing it for, he didn't come for a good, tough background, he's trying to escape for this, so he like became the bodyguard. Yeah. And there's the reason why he joined up with MJF. I can even imagine right now, I can picture like they're doing a vignette where he's walking down his neighborhood where it was like a tough neighborhood. This was when I had to, save my mother from being robbed. This was was like, okay. Yeah. He will become like that big protector.
Yes.
Good guy, like the beast.
Yeah. And you will want him to
see him.
Yeah. And you will want him to beat up MJF for treating him like a shit lah.
And you know what that means? That builds up both characters. And they're two new guys. They're building up MJF and then they're building up Wardlow as well.
Exactly.
If that is the payoff, I would love it. Like I can imagine MJF doing one more match with Moxley maybe, and then that's when exactly at that moment, then that's when Wardlow shit on him or turn on him, and then because of that he loses his championship opportunity. Then they can have their feud going into full gear. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely looking like that's the direction they're heading in. I don't hate it. Actually, I love it. I think it's time for Wardlow to show what he's made of. And yeah, like you said, like if they manage to make Wardlow a star because of it, and it's quote unquote a proven formula. Like I said, Diesel, Sid Vicious, can't remember who else really, but there's always been one smarmy, smaller size heel and one giant horse bodyguard. It's like one of those wrestling tropes that has happened a million times.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we can talk about, you know, other things that happen on Dynamite, but I really just want to mention this before you know, we talk about other things.
Well, I don't think there's anything else. Hold on, there's nothing else to mention on Dynamite that we haven't already mentioned, other than the fact that the best man has arrived in AEW. This is a spin-off of a Kip Sabian segment, which, okay, at first I'm like, Kip Sabian, I don't give a fuck about his whole impending nuptials with Penelope Ford. Like, okay, what's that all about? And then the best man comes out. It's freaking Rusev, aka now his real name Miro.
Here's the thing I didn't get, and I was kind of laughing to myself. Oh, I didn't know that he's looking for the best man, right? Yeah. And the best man is not just a wedding best man, but it's a gimmick.
Yeah, his gimmick, the best man. Yeah. So I think, I wonder if it's his idea.
It was funny lah.
Yeah. No, and it works, I guess, because
I like,
he can, you know, parlay on.
Like, I agree, because it was a play on his, you know,
I'm like the best at this.
Thinking he's the best lah.
It's like the EST.
And if you want to rank like the in the list of like random entrances or appearances into AEW, right? I think the best man can't be worse than the exalted one being Brody Lee, you know, or like who is Jake the Snake's manager being Lance Archer. I would say the best man, I think it was great because it was unexpected. No one thought it was gonna be Miro, right?
But
we know he might debut, but we do not know at that position it was gonna be him.
It's so weird though. Like, I feel like he gets his start on AEW and it's through spinning off a Kip Sabian storyline. Like, where are they going with this? So they're friends. So I mean, obviously he's gonna be a heel, right? Because Kip Sabian is a heel. But then, like, or is Kip Sabian gonna piss him off and then he's gonna beat up Kip Sabian? I feel like he should come in as a face because he has a lot of momentum and he's a very likable big guy.
He is. But does that turn Kip Sabian face? I think it turns Kip Sabian face more than it turns Miro heel. Like, him being associated with Miro now I give a shit about Kip Sabian. Yeah. Before that, like, I was like, whatever. Maybe. And now he's together, like, oh, interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna call Rusev, Miro, he's going to somehow steal Penelope Ford. And then he's going to be like, I'm the best man. I'm the best man. Huh, your wife slept with the best man? You know, the kind of like, those kind of...
Oh my God.
Weird...
it would be like a play on...
relationship.
It would be great revenge
tropes.
For whatever happened with...
Lana.
Yeah, it would be a great revenge for what happened with Lana and Lashley.
Right, so he gets the girl and then he feuds with Kip Sabian. Of course, he's going to destroy Kip Sabian as his first feud. I'm
gonna call this now, bro.
Yeah.
You said you're wondering whether he's gonna be a heel or a face, right? I think he's coming as a face, but he's just friends with a heel. And then eventually, because as in like the crowd will definitely love Miro, will definitely support him. So he is basically he's associated with a heel guy. The heel guy trying to tell him what to do, control him. He's like, yeah, it's fine. But the dynamic, right? I would liken it to like Thor and Chris Pratt's character at Guardians of the Galaxy. No.
Rocket?
Chris Pratt, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Star-Lord.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the main guy.
Star-Lord.
At the end of Endgame, and then Thor joined the ship, right? And then he said, no, you're the leader. You're the leader. And then he did that smile like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's the dynamic it's going to be.
Okay, my call, my prediction is exactly what I said. Miro is... Because, this whole wedding thing came out of nowhere. There was no build-up to it. I feel like they're just pulling this straight out of their ass. What my guess is, Miro, comes in as a face. He's friends with Kip Sabian as a heel. So technically, they're all tweener, to be honest. But Miro is going to somehow sleep with Penelope Ford. They are going to be a thing, and then Kip Sabian will be cast to the side, and he will have a feud with Kip. Kip's still a heel. Miro is going to be, I'm so cool, I'm the ladies' man. Haha, look at me, I'm the best at everything. Even, making love or whatever. And then he's going to be a funny face. That's what I'm calling.
He should be, because I think what WWE fails to play on is his charming side.
Yeah.
Handsome Rusev.
Exactly.
Rusev Day. Like that, when he started developing that personality, I think that made him really, really popular. But Vince, beyond like the typical monster heel.
Vince didn't see it. Yeah. Vince did not.
Yeah, I think that's his ways. And when we talk about like breakout stars, I really, really think like Miro can become a world champion in AEW. And
agreed.
I would love it. Like he'll be a lovable, like I won't say he's a Mick Foley, but I think he'll be likable like Mick Foley, but like as the main guy.
Yeah. I agree.
He won't be the number one guy. I don't think he'll be the number one guy, because I think in every wrestling promotion there needs to be a guy that looks like the number one guy, which is like Roman Reigns lah.
But okay, who is that for AEW?
I believe there's no one here yet. Like I can see Kenny Omega being the number one heel badass character.
It's not John Moxley.
But like number one,
is he? See, this is my whole point.
Agreed that John Moxley.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That John Moxley he's an anti-hero that he won't be John Cena. He will be more like a CM Punk or like a Randy Orton. Like he's good, but he's not the number one guy.
Yeah,
and that's maybe the exciting thing about AEW. There is no number one guy, even though I kind of have my hopes on who I want to be the number one face of AEW. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
When I say, you'll be like, oh yeah, he should be.
Okay. Who?
Any clues? Any ideas? Okay, I say.
Is it somebody we've talked about?
We've mentioned the number one guy in AEW should be Hangman Page.
Oh, okay, yeah. We've definitely talked about that.
Eventually.
The hope is that after his program with Omega, he will become the number one guy.
For him to be number one guy, for him to be number one guy, they have to establish the cleaner as the number one heel first.
Yes.
He'll be the end boss. And then like maybe next year's Double or Nothing or All or whatever, then Hangman Page finally, 2 years too late, but finally he reaches his potential and become the number one guy.
Yeah, it's going to be like...
when they first push him to the number one contender with Chris Jericho, right? We were feeling like, why is he the one that's number one? Yeah, he's young. Maybe they want him to be the future of the company, but he's not ready yet.
Yep.
But maybe they saw something in him that only now we all see also. He's always had the tools. He just needed a great character to build him up. And I really feel that he can be he's a good looking guy. Yep. He's young. He has a great mix of the AEW style, which is like the indie style, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And also, I think he can do like the big match kind of feel. So he has all the elements, bro. He just needs the right opportunity to shine. And I can see Hangman going to world contention. Like, out of all the new guys, he's 27 only, bro. I remember he's about my age, 27, 28. So, like, 30, that's like perfect time to become a champ, right?
Right,
so in the next year, next couple of years, why not?
But like you said, we need that massive heel for him to play off of, and Kenny Omega looks like he's going to be the guy. The cleaner is back. And I don't know if you saw Kenny Omega's latest Instagram post. He posted a cartoon picture. You know Mr. Clean? The toilet cleaning product. Yeah, so he posted that picture of Mr. Clean. So I'm like, oh, tease, the cleaner's back. So that's going to be fun to watch. So that's AEW, essentially. I mean, hit or miss. I guess for you, the pay-per-view was more miss than hit, but I actually thought it was more hit than miss.
Okay. And I love it. I love that finally that you're more pro AEW in this aspect. Yeah.
But don't get it twisted, man. Don't get it twisted. I still feel like the WWE is on a roll now, and they are the more exciting products. Speaking of which, I think we should very quickly, even though I have to run in about 15 minutes time because I have a meeting in just a bit. And we've talked for like what? An hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Again, but what's new, right? You're used to this on this podcast.
Wrestling. We gotta talk about wrestling.
Let's get into Raw. Okay. Drew McIntyre claymoring Randy Orton about 20,000 times on Raw. I thought that was pretty cool. And he had that whole...
You know what? Yeah. You know what's funny, bro?
What?
I love the fact that at SummerSlam, they didn't even do any of their finishes. And ever since SummerSlam, they've been spamming finishes at each other.
On Raw, it's like blah, 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 all over. I like it, him basically coming back for revenge after Randy kicked him in the head like 5 times. And then, of course, Randy Orton
Can I say something about Drew McIntyre, though?
What's that?
Can I say something about Drew McIntyre first?
Yeah.
He has really nice hair.
Oh, jeez.
His hair is very nice.
So random.
It's like Toriel, like the Thor hair. Like the perfect. I don't know, man. When he was marching to the ring the second time, I think the first time when he coming to the ring to do the Claymore, man, I was like, whoa, he got nice hair.
Oh my god, that is so okay. Anyway, let's move on then. Randy Orton and Keith Lee, they've wrestled 3 times. Only 1 time did it actually finish properly, and that was on the pay-per-view. Yeah. But I was fine with it. Like, you had to protect. You can't have Keith Lee beat Randy Orton again.
Yeah, I do want Keith Lee to get away from Randy Orton after this, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want him to be the side character in the main rivalry because he is too talented.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I hope it's done lah.
Yeah, obviously this is a way for him to just kind of start out big, have a big win right away off the bat, and then now he's going to move on to other people.
Keith Lee already had the big rub from Randy already, from his payback win. Yeah. That should be the end of it, So dude, I really hope that after this he continues to somewhere else. And
not just that too. Did you see the way he blocked the RKO?
That was cute. That was damn cute.
They've obviously tried to make him as strong and powerful, make him look good. And kudos to Randy for making him look good. This is all Randy.
Yeah. We gotta give credit to Randy. I think Randy has reached that point in his career. This is high praise, but I think he's the Shawn Michaels of this generation. He's the guy that's giving great matches for everyone. He's the guy that's building up the new generation of stars. When Shawn Michaels came back after his injury, right, I felt like his purpose in WWE was that he didn't want the spotlight to be himself because he felt he was too selfish earlier in his career. Now he wants to use his talent and ability to build up other people. And I feel Randy's at that mindset right now, which is great. It's a great maturity. As for us, our long-time fans, to see someone starting off as this guy to becoming this guy. And I think that's the payoff when we invest in wrestling, when we root for someone at the beginning of their career to see how they are at the end of their career. This is the satisfaction that we get as fans.
Yeah, exactly. And to see him like giving the rub to the up and comers, that's pretty cool. Okay, so that was the main storyline. Then we also had the Mysterios getting revenge. All of them beating up poor Murphy. Okay, have Seth and Murphy like officially parted ways, or is it just Seth scolding Murphy and then Murphy's like, oh, I'm gonna get revenge back, but he gets beat up?
I think it's the second thing, but I think after this beat up, next week there will be the proper official dissolution of the Monday Night Messiah. But can I just say, Rey Mysterio's idea of family bonding is funny, very funny. They have piñata nights. I didn't know they do that.
Piñata nights with Murphy. Oh, poor thing.
Oh my god.
It was, I guess,
you see me?
It was a decent ending to the feud. It felt like the end of the feud, the blow off.
Yeah, it felt like it's like I remember Rey Mysterio saying that, okay, if I couldn't get like my vengeance with Seth Rollins, I'm happy enough that I can deliver it to you, Buddy Murphy, instead.
Seth is taking a break, right?
Yeah. From what I've understand, Becky Lynch is due at any moment now, bruh.
Oh wow, the man child. The Monday Night Messiah.
The menses?
What the fuck? The men's. Anyway, so I guess they are going to write him off for a little bit. The dissolution is happening.
Do you see the post that I put on our Instagram? Kick to the gut, guys. On the Rey Mysterio having a promo with CM Punk during his Straight Edge Society days. I haven't seen that. So what happened was in 2010. Rey Mysterio and CM Punk had a feud going to WrestleMania 26, right? And CM Punk actually threatened Rey Mysterio's family. So they had the whole family in the ring, even the daughter Aaliyah, when she was like 9 years old or something like that. And then like CM Punk was like singing Happy Birthday to Aaliyah in a very creepy way. Yeah. So it's just to like intimidate, playing mind games with Rey Mysterio lah. So I kind of uploaded it as a juxtaposition to how like everyone's grown up from that moment, because like Dominic was probably like maybe 13 years old only, still like early teens, and then like earlier I was just a small kid, and to see all of them in this scenario 10 years later, it's crazy, man.
And
it's
somehow,
really investment.
Yeah, and somehow Ray still looks like the youngest. Looks like a child.
Yeah, what the fuck? Ray looked like he never grew up. I think it's the mask.
It's the mask. You can't tell. You can't tell if he's grown old. Yeah. Okay, so those are the two main stories. I guess one of it wrapped up. The Hurt Business. Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Apollo Crews, they had a match, but Cedric Alexander with the heel turn.
Finally, bro. I love it. Cedric Alexander is going to get such a great rub being for the Hurt Business.
That's right.
He is the youngest guy in the ring, as in the Hurt Business, because the rest of them are in their mid-40s.
Correct.
You know that Shelton Benjamin is 45?
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's a veteran.
I got mind blown. I was like, what? 45? What have you done with your life? No.
Hey, what? But Intercontinental Champion, Tag Team Champions multiple times, hey. You know?
24/7 champion.
24/7 champion, that's right. Okay. We got Peyton Royce having a, I guess, official breakout match with Billie Kay, and they hugged after, so they had a moment. I think I read a rumor dirt sheet that because, Billie Kay kind of knew that this was probably the end for her, so they allowed them to have that moment.
Yeah. So I guess they are legit gonna go on separate ways, and I like that. It's a different way of breaking out a tag team. Like, even though they had their blow off feud, but then they still ended on amicable terms. I think I can respect that.
Yeah.
I just hope that Billie Kay doesn't get lost in the shuffle, because she's a great character. She's one of the reasons why the Iconic was so annoying as a heel. It's because a lot of it because of her as well.
I'm gonna call it right now. In about 3 months' time, Billie Kay is all elite. I'm going to call it right now.
Jessie McKay.
Oh, Jessie McKay. Yeah.
We shall see. We shall see. What's your thoughts on whatever happened in Raw Underground this week?
Kevin Owens and Aleister Black, right? I thought it was pretty cool to put two, main guys there, but then they've been doing that quite a bit. And like I said, I feel like they've watered down Raw Underground. I don't know if you noticed, but the floor has mats. I don't know if they didn't have mats previously, but I don't know why this was what I noticed. It feels more like just a WWE ring without ropes. That's it. It doesn't feel like underground anymore. So
as grainy or as grimy. I mean, the moment they took out the sweepers, it's watered down already.
Yeah. So the answer to this is to bring back strippers or dancers, exotic dancers, men and women.
HLA.
Oh, good Lord.
HLA.
No.
I was just watching it on Instagram.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't like how it ended though. I didn't like that. Both of them were fighting, and suddenly this one time Dabaketo.
Oh, Papa Shango. Right, yeah. Bubu Papa came out and beat the fuck out of them.
Yeah, which I feel like, then for what they have a feud? The intensity is supposed to be both of them. Then this one guy wants extra.
Exactly, right?
Know,
so what? They're going to have a feud on Raw, and then Yabba Dabba comes out and beats them up on main Raw? I don't know. Yeah. It felt like it served no purpose. Yeah. It felt like, okay, we're like, shit, we need a feud in Underground to make it interesting. Let's take this feud that's existing already, but we want to push our Underground guy, which is Yabba Dabba Doo.
The Raw talk that came up after that was Kevin Owens actually issuing a challenge to Dabaketo for next week. So then, like I said, it's just so weird because it leaves I was looking forward to the Aleister Black Kevin Owens feud.
Yes,
I
exactly.
wish that was the thing.
And who gets the shaft? It's Aleister Black. Now all of a sudden focus is on Kevin Owens versus Yamadama.
Like, you know what I think? How they should have done it, right? If it was me, right? I don't even want Kevin Owens to be inside Raw Underground, because I feel like them coming together, coming to blows this early in the feud does it a disservice.
Yeah.
I would have rather this past Raw Underground, right? It was an entire obliteration from Aleister Black. Aleister Black just keep killing everyone, and then like Shane McMahon was asking him, so you've had enough. Who do you want next? And I said, I want Kevin Owens.
Dude, that's perfect. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Puts him over as a badass. Beats up all the guys. He could even have like a badass beat up. He can beat up Dabaketo, like just barely beat him or something, and then just shows that he's a badass. And then like the anticipation for him to fight with Kevin Owens will happen like next week or something,
Yeah, that's exactly the problem with Raw Underground now, and we've said it before, it seems very directionless. It seems just, okay, it's a segment, it's a gimmick, it's a thing. We just need to populate it with random superstars. And that's it.
It can be like directionless in the sense that it's just a thing that happens on Raw. But if they use it to, like I said, further storylines, build stuff, being so as a story tool device.
But if they do exactly what you said, then it's not directionless. My point is that there is no point to Raw Underground anymore, other than it existing. No point, it's, you know what it is? It's like a novelty match. It's like a hardcore match that just happens, and you have to slot in wrestlers.
Two things that need a resolution really, really fast. They need to have a point for Raw Underground, and they need to further retribution ASAP.
Well,
now they have like a muffled voice for now.
Yeah, they have a voice filter, so they changed their modulate. It was a decent promo. It wasn't the worst promo. But I still think that it's going to be a NXT Invasion deal. Okay.
It does give a hint though, what they said in the promo.
Yeah.
You remember what they said, right?
Something about they were left out
talk
there.
About how... Yep. So it only points to two things. Like I hope it could be the bunch of people that were furloughed or fired, which would have been an amazing storyline if all of that also worked. If that happened.
But they're all...
Like you say, it's an NXT Invasion.
Yeah, but they're all either hired in AEW or they are, somewhere else already, right? So...
Yeah, I guess... I don't know. The one that they have... As in, because the line that they said was very, very telling. They were saying that you left us in the cold when we needed you. You make us feel like useless, that kind of thing.
Everyone that they followed is either in Impact or in AEW already, so it's none of them.
Correct. But what they said, the promo that they said, right, really echoes the promo of someone else's.
Okay.
You know who?
Who?
Isn't this exactly what Roman Reigns were talking about in his promo as well?
Oh, right.
You left us, when we needed you. You turned on us. I gave everything to you guys. Okay, so that, I do not know who's the guy that's under the mask, but I feel that it really, if I were to follow it logically, it just gave us a big clue that Roman Reigns is the leader. This is just my opinion.
But, yeah, you're right. Then why cause more havoc on Raw and not SmackDown?
Because
Roman Reigns is already on SmackDown. Oh, maybe. Right.
Yeah, because Roman Reigns is telling them they're doing Roman Reigns bidding.
Yeah.
I still believe in that theory because Retribution has not appeared on the show that Roman Reigns is on so far.
Okay, I'm going to stick...
You realize.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with NXT. I don't want Roman Reigns to... he doesn't need a faction. He and Paul Heyman are a force on its own. Someone else needs the rub to have a full-on faction or whatever. So I hope this is a build-up to Survivor Series, which is in November, by the way, so we are very close. It could be people that have come to Raw.
Yeah.
It could be people who have come to Raw from NXT and then they got left off the card.
I'm curious. I'm very curious to know, because I do see that it would make a lot of sense for a lot of NXT people to be there. But the main guy, the mastermind needs to be someone huge for the storyline to pay off. So
Dominic Dijakovic.
Fuck off. Mid boss.
Yeah, mid boss, right? Yeah, we had some Riot Squad versus Nia Jax, handicap match. Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
They're obviously trying to build Shayna Baszler as this mega badass, but she lost to a roll-up.
That was so weird. You know, there was the fact that they built it up. There was nothing much. Okay, I just want to fast forward. There's nothing so much newsworthy on Raw other than the things that we talk about.
Yeah.
Before you leave, right, bro? We need to talk about one last thing.
What's that?
The big news coming out of NXT.
Finn Balor is the new NXT champion, and it was the opening match on NXT.
Interesting, right?
Right. Well,
very interesting.
I guess, and this is kudos to them that they don't have the ego to be like, oh no, we should be the main event, because the main event, which was a brutal match, it was a really good match, Rhea Ripley versus Mercedes Martinez. The two of them, the two guys, they're like, you know what? Let them have their shine, because that was the main event to me. Yeah.
I liked it. You know why? Because it felt like if the Super Tuesdays were a 2-part movie, right?
Continuation.
The final scene of the first movie, they already had their shine. and this was like the early scene to wrap up whatever happened in the first movie.
The
Mortal
way
Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2
the way you just painted it is perfect, and maybe that was what they were thinking. It's like a continuation immediately after the main event to sell the fact that they're both beaten down. They just did a 1 hour match, and then they're in the first match of NXT.
Yeah, I think it's poetic justice that Finn Balor wins the title again, and it's like the main guy. It makes his return to NXT worthwhile. Because for a period I was thinking like he's a bit up and down, floundering. He's like main mid card. Like what's he doing in NXT? But now that he's established as the number one guy again, I love it. Now people can start chasing and challenging him because he's not a full heel. He's like a badass. He's an
anti-hero. So I mean,
so he can challenge both heels and faces.
Yes, that's exactly it. I wonder where this leaves Adam Cole though, because at the end of the match, even Adam Cole, he was like, oh, okay, he was the better man. He seemed very face-like. So I wonder if they are going to push Adam Cole into becoming like a cool face, a badass. Like he will do some shady stuff once in a while, but he's cool, and people are going to cheer the undisputed era anyway. Because they've already built themselves up, everyone does the Adam Cole baby and the boom and all that shit. He's definitely on the way to being a face.
I like it. I like where they're going with Adam Cole. But I didn't see anything from Gargano and Gargano had that whole
dinner
in the house thing, right?
The dinner with Tegan.
So I guess it's Gargano segments. But where was Ciampa though?
Oh yeah. Is he injured again? I don't know.
No.
Before we jump to Ciampa, though, I want to talk about Tegan Knox. She cannot act. Talking about cannot act. Her and Candice LeRae had their thing, and it was a bit awkward. Give chance. Okay, I'll give chance. It's not like I acted, right? No. Okay, fine. I didn't quite buy it. What, did you think that segment was very well acted, Oscar worthy? I don't think so. It was hokey as F.
Now y'all feel so bad for you feel so bad for shitting on it because I was like, give chance lah.
Give chance. Okay lah, give chance. But Young Bucks cannot give. I don't give chance. Young Bucks for their shit acting.
Okay. No, but what is going to happen with Tegan Knox and Candice LeRae? Are they hinting some sort of like alliance? What's going on?
No, they're going to feel and fight lah, because they got into an argument after their dinner, and then Tegan Knox poured like spaghetti and meatballs all over Gargano. So it's like, this is just there was nothing new. They were already fighting. Then they tried to allude to, their friendship from before. They tried to reconcile, but it got worse. So they're just going to fight some more.
So it was just like a red herring lah. Like, okay, come, you join me instead of fighting me. Yeah.
But
and
it wasn't even a compelling come and join me. Candice LeRae was being a bit of a shitty host. Like being very condescending. So it didn't feel at any point like it was a red herring. It was just, it's just another segment to further their feud. But
if you want to look at it at like a character standpoint, right? Doesn't it make Tegan Knox an idiot?
Yeah.
You're feuding with this person, and then she offer you to come to the house, and then you still go to the house.
Okay lah.
So what do you want out of it?
Okay lah. No, it's like, imagine friendships of the past and you fall out with somebody, but you're like, actually we used to be friends. Okay, I give you a chance, I go over to your house, maybe we can reconcile. But during the dinner, they're still asshole to you. So like, fuck it. And then, of course, this is wrestling world. You start throwing food at each other.
I love it. I love how no one can have a decent human interaction in wrestling.
No,
like, anything needs to end up in a fight.
Yeah. With food being thrown and people being tossed around. Anyway, so that was NXT. I mean, I feel like Raw and SmackDown is taking all the shine away. Now NXT sort of like, resettling, because they did take Keith Lee away as well. And Karrion Kross got injured. So it is understandable. They need to, quote unquote, build new stars. But other than Finn Balor, one other big thing that I really love is that I think they have rebuilt Rhea Ripley back to a badass again. Yes.
And I can't wait for Rhea Ripley to kind of like be part of the title scene.
If anything, I feel like NXT is just very good at building stars from nobodies. From like a few weeks ago, we didn't know who the fuck Bronson Reed was. A few months ago, right? A few months ago, we didn't know who Cameron Grimes was. All of a sudden, we're like, okay, they're definitely in contention for North American title. That kind of stuff.
NXT, I guess, reminds me of old school territories. Like you will never be bigger than you were in, like, for example, in Memphis, you'll be at a certain level. But then you still have to go to the next level, right? And as long as NXT knows their role and, keeps being the breeding ground for making stars, I feel they will always have a place. I do not want them to, as much as they want them to build up to become, we're the third brand of WWE.
No. Yeah.
If they become like that, then I think they lose a bit of their charm.
No, that's exactly it.
They need to,
they need to have that platform for them to try new things, to be able to screw up and be like, okay, that didn't work, but it's okay. It's not quote unquote the main show.
Yeah. One last point, right? I think before we wrap it up, I wanted to mention something that I watched recently, which is the most recent Broken Skull sessions.
Jerry the King Lawler.
Jerry Lawler. Yeah. You managed to eyeball it a bit?
I watched about the first 20 minutes of it. I haven't had time to finish it. But yeah, it was very interesting.
I surprisingly enjoyed the heck out of it. And I didn't know a lot of his career before that.
Yeah. No, it's Lawler. He is like an interesting character lah. The years he's put in. But we know him more as a commentator, right?
Yeah. But even his stuff with Kaufman, his interaction with Jim Carrey, I think was amazing. And the fact that he did it as a territory wrestler. He didn't even, he got on Letterman, not as a WWE wrestler, but as just a guy. Yeah, I think it's amazing. And one thing that he mentioned, I just want to put about one takeaway that he talked about, right? He doesn't like the fact that WWE is going down the route of not making the commentators stars. They wanted to make them to not take the shine out of other wrestlers, right?
Right.
But he said, right, by building commentators into their own stars in their own right, it will make it a bigger deal if they put over the wrestlers.
Correct.
Because it's coming from JR.
Yeah, it's
JR
coming
is
from
saying this guy is awesome.
Michael Cole, he's somebody you believe and trust in. No, I agree with you 100%. Now all the commentators like your Todd Phillips, Byron Saxton, they are a bit throwaway. They just replace them and it's like whatever.
They need to have personality and I think I guess this is a mistake on WWE's part to go down on different route. If they have like for example Samoa Joe, the fact that Samoa Joe puts over Dominic, I'm like, okay, I like Dominic. I want to root for Dominic because someone like Samoa Joe loves him.
Yeah.
So they need to be serious in terms of building it. And I think that was one of great takeaway that Jerry Lawler gave during that show.
Well, watch the show for yourself. I think definitely it's worth watching. Even the first 20 minutes, like I said, was very compelling to me already. Anyway, that will do it for us here today on Kick to the Gut. Thank you very much for watching or listening to the podcast. As always, follow us on our social media at Kick to the Gut. By the way, this episode brought to you by Kick Out, the hottest new fitness workout designed for pro wrestling fans. Go to grapplemax.punchpass.com and use the promo code KTTG100 on checkout
100
to get 20% off a single session. This is for first-time Grapple Max customers only. It's by Grapple Max, Singapore's largest pro wrestling gym. And who knows, you might see Foreign in one of the classes with you. He does the Saturday classes, right?
Yeah, I'm coming on Saturday.
Very cool. Yes. We want to see you there, right? In the meantime, it is Mr. Young.
It's Foreign in the building. Bang, bang. Take care.
I got bang bang now all of a sudden. Mick Foley.
No, this one the cleaner. I try to do the cleaner. Okay, but never mind.
Make yourself famous.